Hello, 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 and hello, my co-host, Mr. Baron G Rock. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine. We got to get the crazy
Yeah,
for the thumbnail. So yeah, is
stepping
that that
straight out.
that
Step,
that that always that bumps the algorithm. You know that, right?
I don't know if it bumps the algorithm, but it makes people like our friend Bear, the Gen X GM, show up.
This is true.
And for our friends that are in the chat already, Six Nation 31 Kings, he's not certain if he can watch the holiday special. It's got Boba Fett, but it also has Chewbacca's messed up family, Itchy and Coffee, or what's his name? Itchy and Scratchy, Chucky. I don't know.
Eh,
Hey, Mr. Jade's Tabletop Tavern.
Oh,
Hey, he's got sound. How you doing, sir?
well, sinus cold and all. Thankfully, it's not COVID. I got the confirmation on that.
woo!
It's good to hear.
Yeah.
I went and got my medicines last night before Janet's show, and then I showed up late to her show, so
Ooh.
not a bad day.
Not a great day, but not a bad day.
Not a bad day.
Long time no see, Baron.
I know. It's crazy. I do exist.
The multi-gun man. Hello, sir. How are you doing today? Lumpy. That was his name. And Six Nation says, hello, Soybase Jeremy and the multi-gun man. So today would normally be a day that I'd be running my high-level game with Chris and the other players here that really just don't like chat. And I think the reason is that I started them gaming without going live. And then I hungered to go live because we could go live, and I have a channel on YouTube. And they hate this. That's fine. I like it. If they ignore the chat and just focus on their game, I think they'd be fine. My mods can usually handle chat. If chat gets out of pocket, they can handle it.
Thought about maybe doing a radio show style?
Thought about it. Thought about doing like a podcast. This actually could be a podcast.
It's going to be one of the things I want to get into coming year is basically making half-hour radio show style tabletop role playings.
There's a market for it because there's a bunch of folks out there that do it. So
Yeah, it actually turns out to be they get a lot of good listeners because a lot of people have like a half-hour commute to work.
mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are still working from home, and that's great. But for those that have to travel, a podcast is perfect for if you're in the car and you're having to drive yourself, or if you're taking public transit. Either way, you've got your earbuds in, you can listen to somebody else, and they'll take you away while you mentally gird yourself up for work.
Or coming back home from work.
Mm-hmm. You can decompress a lot easier. Most of my friends in radio have this right here. They can't stand listening to themselves talk.
Hey, I hate listening to myself. Hey, Sean.
I used to have that same problem where if I heard myself back on audio recordings, I didn't care for the way I sounded. But one of the things I did was I went and got OBS Studio, and I really tweaked all the settings of my microphone as best as I could to get the absolute crispest sounding audio for myself. And that's what really did it for me. I think I sound better after all of the filters and all of the extra work I did on the software side of things. Really clean up my audio.
Yeah, I still can't stand the way I sound, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'll live.
Been like that since back with the Twitch days. It's like, no.
The audio that
Yourself.
really gets under my skin is when I've got my Omni mic set up and the room itself is echoing because I don't have any wall adornments on the walls down here. So I've got nothing to absorb the extra sound or stop the echo from happening. I need to fix that for this room before I can start audio, making audio broadcasts.
Yeah, that's the thing is, definitely making sure to get those adornments, even if it's just, posters or something. As weird as it sounds, even posters make it less echoey.
Kind of like an R value for you insulation types.
I mean, I've thought about getting those old cardboard milk crates, or not milk, cardboard egg cartons,
Mhm.
cutting them up and putting them on the walls just to have something to break the sound.
I recommend that a lot.
That, or you can go get the the egg crate, that like what you throw in your bed,
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
padding. You can take those, cut
Memory
those
foam.
up, and take those, cut those up, and put those up on your
You see,
walls too.
if I do that, what I really want to do if I do that is I want to get like a wooden frame. And I want to stretch a canvas material over it and have
Mhm.
and I want it to be thin enough material that sound can travel kind of through it. But I want the egg carton or the foam on the underside of the image so that I can have wall art down here that serves two purposes: having wall art and breaking the sound up.
Mage's Musing says something I really appreciate, and this is what actually helped me be able to deal with my sight and sound, especially after you turn like 30 and your body's like, all right, we're no longer going to look young and hot, we're going to look old and like your grandfather. And
You were young and hot.
at least thin or
Okay.
yeah, like when you make that metamorphosis where now you can stand in front of the mirror naked and you're like, that can't be right. Who the fuck put my head on my dad's body? That's when you have that.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind having my dad's body minus the smoking habit. He's almost 100 pounds lighter than me, so.
Yeah, and most of it's muscle, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, I mean he worked a laboring job for many years, and he was a dump truck driver for a asphalt company near where he lives, and he was a very lean person. He could eat just about anything and never put on any pounds.
Oh, he's one of those people.
Yep, I used to be one of those people, and then I got a desk job.
Yeah, a desk job will kill you.
Eventually, yes.
You would love to pop in. You're going to head up and out. Much ado today. Popped in and said, howdy. Appreciate that.
Have a good day, Sean.
Oh man, I have this feeling. I have this. I am the hairy potato. Yeah, I get it.
I think mastery of the mute button is also key for good sounding audio. something I learned from a radio broadcaster when I was like 10 or 11. I actually got to sit in the broadcast booth for the Cardinals in Tampa Bay when they were doing spring training. I actually got to sit with Mike Shannon. Now something I didn't know about Mike Shannon at the time was he was a chain smoker, effectively. Like he was constantly smoking in the booth, and he would I think he suffered from COPD because he would press the mute button, have a coughing fit, and get right back into the radio show. And you would never know because he would know when a coughing fit was coming on. So he'd hit the mute button and he would cough it out and then get right back into the radio show of broadcasting the Cardinals baseball. I learned early on, like, mastery of the mute button is key for great sounding audio.
You know, when I'm on the throne, if I'm spinning music, hey LDG, one of our big supporters here at the Apartment of Solitude is LDG with a Free the Net project. He gave away a lot of memberships in the last month and a half. So I believe if you guys just want a membership, you just turn on your I'm accepting gifts, and one of them there should be a couple left, should gravitate right to you. No, LDG, you don't have to buy any more, sir. Appreciate that. I do. Thank you, sir. I really do. And good morning again. Also, LDG, same can be said if you want to pop in here and chat with the panel. We'll get you a StreamYard link. Not a problem. I never knew that you were into broadcasting, Jade.
Not so much into it. Like I liked the concept of I used to listen to Green Hornet radio show. I listened to I think the Hounds of Baskerville, Sherlock Holmes as a radio show once, and the concept of the radio show always really fascinated me and caught my interest. So when I did the first radio show style YouTube series of Beneath the Door for my own channel, I'm like, you know what? This is something I would love to continue, but I really, really need to clean up my audio and get my players to ignore the microphone and just speak normally. I think that was one of the bigger problems I had with that was people were trying to speak to the microphone instead of speak normally, and they were trying to do things for viewer components, not necessarily for role play components. And that's one of the things I'm going to address when next I do radio show style role playing game. Is I'm going to let my players know, hey, the microphone's there. You don't have to speak to the microphone. It is an Omni mic, and role play normally. Don't role play for the audience. Role play for yourselves and enjoy the game. I'm just recording it for my own sake to put on YouTube, or even now that Spotify is actually allowing people to post, podcasts. I'm also thinking about getting into Spotify podcasting for radio shows style TTRPGs.
Well, what you can also do is similar to what I did with the Table Breakers, is that I went into the actual playlist for it and listed it as a podcast. So now it actually appears on the YouTube podcast stuff
cool.
also. So, I mean, that's another way you can do it too.
I might do that for Gatekeepers. Go back into it and check mark all of my Gatekeeper stuff for podcast.
Yeah, well, it's just the playlist.
Mm-hmm.
You just do the one shot and done.
Cool.
So yeah, but yeah, we are kind of looking at like the little year in review, the games we've played, the things that we're looking forward to next year, all kinds of fun little stuff, and just kind of sitting back, relaxing, chilling on this Christmas Eve. And yeah.
If you guys want to follow our friend LDG, he's a lot more often. You can find him with our friend Deej Odyssey, and I'll get Deej's channel up there. But Mr. LDG's channel is right here, and he has a really neat project he's been working on for a few years. He starts doing the alpha testing. I'm going to be part of that, and just it's kind of like a OS that is dedicated for more social media than what Windows or Linux is. That'll be the entire purpose of the OS, is to have something that's native to that entire concept.
We're just getting caught up on our private Discord. Man, Kai.
Kai's raining rant on that entire situation made me really happy. The thing that started it all, that caused our party wipe, didn't make me happy. Seeing Kai's thoughts, reading through that, I'm like, he gets it.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of his complaints aren't just his complaints with Pathfinder and the hobby in general, but they're reasons. Those are good reasons why guys like you got out of the RPG Olympics and the DPS Olympics, and you went to games more like Index Card
Index
RPG.
card, yeah. Yeah.
That completely made sense as to why that would have happened. So whenever we read that next Thursday, should Kai not be there, we'll read his rant.
I hope he is.
I really do too. I would love it if he. I mean, I don't care if he hogs up 30 minutes espousing his hatred of the mentality of old style gaming, getting to the point that he outlines perfectly for this one shot as to why he felt like this was a loss. If he eats up 30 minutes, that's fine. We can stream all night, in my opinion. I know some of us have to go to bed, but majority of us can get 5 people, we can talk about something and wrap up, get our point across in about 2 to 3 hours pretty easily. Wait, what did she do?
Stop clicking it while I'm clicking it.
Get out of my head. I failed my walking die roll walking out of my house. Now I'm stuck, hurt on my couch, icing my ankle. The doormat slid when I stepped on it. Yeah, winter.
Yeah.
Hurt yourself, Grandma.
Yeah, definitely. My wife did that right the winter after we moved into our house, and yeah, there has not been a doormat at that door since.
There's a guy that just popped in our chat. His name is Dustin. Dustin is the guy who runs Keto Simple. And Keto Simple is a neat channel. It's really not little. It's not. He's got some ideas to live a healthier life, to be a little cleaner on things that we're doing naturally, normally. And he runs a show in the morning. Him and his wife talk, and he does some other lifestyle streams as well. He hangs out with me on Tuesdays with Nick Weiser. But if you're trying to clean your life up, you can't just like, I'm going to go cold turkey on something. Dustin will help point you in the direction. If you don't know those directions, I'm just saying he's really good on that, and he listens well. I didn't mean to interrupt you two. I'm sorry. I just see you.
No, you're fine.
I see
You're
somebody
fine.
pop up in chat, and I want to give him a shout out real quick. And some of my other viewers don't know this person. You really should know Keto Simple. But if you're trying to do self-improvement on a granular basis, do things small steps. Dude, Dustin, you have good advice. I mean, because of all the things that he's been saying here and there, I've started doing research, and my alcohol intake is probably the thing that's hurting me the most. And so I haven't had a drink for about 4 days. I only have 2 drinks maximum, which now I save money, it looks like.
Well, it also helps with your cellulitis.
Yeah, I don't want that to turn into a hospitalization. That'll suck.
So what are you painting, Bruce?
This is a 3D print job of what's called a Chaos Hydra.
Yeah, because from the top it looks like something completely different than what it actually looks like from the front.
Yeah, I always get a bunch of accusations that I'm painting Japanese tentacle porn. And I mean,
It could still be Japanese tentacle porn.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was an autoget for that first glance from top down.
So, anyway, these things you get into combat with them, and this is almost like fighting a more intelligent version of a Gibberine Mouther. A Gibberine Mouther causes confusion in a huge area where he's at. Just like he almost causes a reality bubble to completely become distorted to where when you step into that area, you can't hear your own thoughts. This is a little different, but this son of a bitch, when you get too close to him, like there's a couple of these heads that are singing like a bard, Chaos Hydra. And then the other heads will start casting spells at the party. So basically, I'm looking at it like it's a beholder with, instead of just like ice stalks that fire off spells, it's got the added capacity of possibly doing bardic type musics and effects. Nightmare fuel. Who wants it?
I think Flady has it on the nose right there.
Class 4 Piss Hydra.
Yeah.
Chris is the one that printed this off for me. I wasn't expecting him to. Him and I still are going round and round about the Magus in Pathfinder, which I feel is a class that has a neat idea, but poor execution. And it's really OP execution. It's very overpowered. It's not that it has a lot of high-level abilities. It has a lot of mid-level abilities that can be fired off as free actions. And if the storyteller, DM, or whoever, if they don't have the game set up to where things are like, you have to keep your free actions reasonable. As a free action, I do this spell, and then as another free action, I regain all my Arcana points, and as a, not including your move and standard actions, which they really don't use too much because the Magus, like, as part of a full round action, he casts a spell at the end of his spear point or sword point and takes no damage or whatever. Okay, so it is a false Hydra. My bad. I thought it was Chaos Hydra. That's what I heard. I apparently heard wrong. Psionics and man. RPG Grandma, it's just the fact that they do everything all at once is the problem I have with the Magus. And they're
kind of,
go ahead.
They remind me of the Silence from Doctor Who. I don't know if anyone here has seen those episodes of Doctor Who. It reminds me of the Silence, where you can only know of its existence while you're observing it. The moment you look away, you forget about its existence entirely.
Yeah, isn't that what this thing does? I mean, if you get into an area with it, you completely could forget it's even there. You might not know about it. And if you're able to try to counteract against it, it starts pretty much dropping your abilities, right? It going into full debuff mode, doesn't it?
Kind of.
Okay. That's what I was gathering from the 5e book or the 5e web page that I was shared with. Yeah, I'm not a Whovian. Maybe in a different world I was.
I stopped watching Doctor Who right before Peter Capaldi became the Doctor. I couldn't get into it anymore.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it since
probably
Tom
the
Baker.
same. Oh wow.
I like Tom Baker, but when his tenure ended, I didn't want to watch another Doctor Who. That's my Doctor Who.
Sure.
Not that your Who is bad. It's just that,
It's just different.
yeah,
I mean, that's the same concept of, when Max agreed to disagree with me about a D&D, he's got his D&D and I've got my D&D because, my D&D obviously is 3.5, 3.0 or 3X, whatever. And his D&D is BECME, it's AD&D, so our D&Ds are different. They're still published under the same title, but they're different.
yeah. When Baron showed me the 4th edition Dungeon Master's Guide and it said it's okay to have a redo if you total party kill, I'm like, what fresh hell is this? Remember that? You came over to the house, popped open your laptop, and you said you got to look at this. And we started looking for a solution because, like, we wanted to stay current, but we didn't realize D&D was going away. Newish Doctor Who, not OG. And there's nothing wrong with the new Doctor Who. It looks really good.
Well, that's the thing is the new Doctor Who, the BBC actually put a budget behind it as opposed to the
PDF version.
Yeah, well, that was the original, the original set of series that they had, and in fact, they even lost a few of the episodes just due to the fact of the way that they used to do it is they would record it and then they would use those same tapes, or so to speak, to record something else over it. So, and I mean, they have been able to pull a few of them, at least just the audio, out, and then kind of do like an animated type thing with them. But I mean, that's about all that they've been able to pull of some of the old episodes.
Yeah, I would agree with Mage's musings on that. It is a very different style of storytelling.
If it works for you, if you really like it, throw money at it. That's my best advice. If it's not something that you can get behind, stop. But if you really enjoy it, don't stop the gravy train. And not coincidentally, the best episodes of the New Who are the multi-parters, he says.
Mm-hmm. This is
I
true.
can see that.
Well, it's like the first season that they had when it came out. They had that bad wolf thing linked throughout the entirety of that first season, and it was just like then you got that culmination at the end. It was just like, oh, okay.
Did you guys see any movies in theaters this year?
Nope.
This is the first year I've not gone to the movies.
My wife and I think went to the theater for, and it was actually overly disappointing. We went to the theater for Demon Slayer, the Demon Slayer film. And the Demon Slayer film, if you haven't seen it, don't. You're not missing anything. If you're into anime. So the Demon Slayer film was the last 2 episodes of the Entertainment District and the very first episode of the Swordsmith Village. That's all it was. And that was the only thing we saw in theater this year. And it was just overwhelmingly disappointing because it didn't really add anything between. Because we could have sat at home and within it was 3 weeks later, they released the first episode to not to Netflix, to Crunchyroll. because my wife and I are huge anime nerds, or weaves, as you want to call us, whatever. So 3 weeks later, we watched the episode again. It's like, oh, we really didn't need to go see the film at all for no reason, because we even watched the last 2 episodes of the of season 2 or of the Entertainment District arc, just so we were prepared for the in theater film, and then we watched it again.
I've been hearing a lot about Demon Slayer, but I've not spent time on it. I actually am waiting. There's one show I'm watching right now, and that's Star Trek Continues. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I think Garrett probably popped into it whenever it first started airing 10 years ago or so. Star Trek Continues with Vic Mignogna, whatever his name is. I love the show. It's absolutely Trek. It's the best Trek I've seen since old Trek stopped. But it made me cry because you have these actors that love the property, and then they've got the sound fonts, the sound cues, the incidental music. They've got all the things. And it just reminded me so much of sitting on the couch with my dad when I was a kid. When I was a young kid, like watching the Trouble with Tribbles for the first time, I had that same exact funny feeling in my stomach that I'm watching something great as the tale of Lolani rolls through. And if you haven't seen it, that's the second episode out of like 11. Brilliant show. Really good.
Yeah, it's kind of like the what was it? The Of Gods and Men movie they did, the Star Trek kind of movie where they had the gentleman who played Tuvok and a whole bunch of other people who had been, within the IP, for years, that all just came together. Walter Koenig was in it. It's had a whole bunch of different things.
Okay. Empty Child, Dr. Dances. Okay.
And now we have become a bear stream because we've gone into Star Trek. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Here's somebody to ruin Star Trek for us.
The problem with Star Trek is it's commies in space. That's really what it is.
Okay, that you don't know how good that felt. I've been missing that. I've so been missing that.
So going back to commies in space, no, I'm about ready to take my daughter to the mall. I don't know how long you're staying on today, but if you're on later, I'll hop back on, Bruce.
Sure.
Apparently she has some last minute shopping or got some Christmas money early. One of the two.
Have fun with the crazies.
Well,
enjoy that, and you be one with peace and well-being, and may your chi be balanced when you walk through the mall, because it's going to be so crazy over there.
you haven't hung out with me in person in a while, have you? I'm a very peaceful, non-violent person. I am like the Buddha of peace and love.
You look like Buddha. That's about it.
Oh, you realize we're just waiting for the moment when one of us wins the lottery and we take you to Milwaukee and leave you there, right? And you start the pub crawl to end all pub crawls, but Milwaukee thought ahead, and what Milwaukee did was they have a one person per population per one drinking establishment, so you'll be there for a few years.
Wait, you're gonna drop me off with what money?
Well, that'll be
your
for
day,
you to figure out.
All right. All that being said, everybody out there have a happy Merry Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas. Happy whatever you do celebrate. And for my pagan friends, happy Yule. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey, later, buddy.
Now, Yule should be here pretty soon because the solstice was
2 days ago.
21st. Yeah.
Yesterday. Shit.
Yeah.
Mage's Musing says he's heading out myself. If I don't go now, I'm not going to do it. We'll check back later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check back later. We'll be here.
I
Hopefully.
may not, but
No,
How you doing, sir?
we'll get your wife on for a little bit. That'll be hilarious.
maybe. Right now, I'm just going through my
Hey,
comprehensive
did you-
guide for the setting I'm writing.
did you set up the Nintendo tree?
Yes, we did.
Is it downstairs or upstairs?
It's upstairs. This tree right here. Actually, I need to turn. This tree is specifically for stream. It's just got the lights on it, no ornamentation.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got an amazing tree that he puts up every year, and it's literally a Mario Kart-esque tree, and is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. So now Nintendo doesn't actually make, or they just started making actually ornaments for Christmas trees that are Mario Kart themed.
People have been doing it
And,
for a long time, though.
Well, my wife and I are like, well, we're tired of waiting for them to actually make Mario Kart themed ornaments. So we're just going to, like, the actual carts themselves. We're just going to go buy the Hot Wheels versions of them, drill little pilot holes, like very tiny pilot holes, and then put eye hooks in them and hang them on the tree. And then we got a ribbon. It was a rainbow colored iridescent ribbon that we could make a rainbow road going up the tree with carts flying off the path. And then we made a bunch of like origami balloons that we drew question marks on out of like a bluish purple paper. We put them over the top of blinking lights so that they're on the road, blinking like, well, the question of the power-up boxes. And truthfully, it all started when we didn't actually have a Christmas tree topper. We didn't have the star for the Christmas tree for the longest time. And we were using ornaments from our wedding decorations because we had blue, green, and gold decorations for our wedding. So what we ended up doing, or what I ended up doing, is I made out of foam a Mario Kart power-up star or superstar, and I made that into our tree topper. That was almost 8 years ago now. So from there, she's like, all right, I want a Mario Kart tree. As soon as I made that topper, she's like, I want a Mario Kart tree. Okay, let's make a Mario Kart tree. And it took us forever to finally make or find the ornaments to be able to do that. But I'll see if I can post some pictures in your Discord, Bruce.
Sure.
Speak of him, and he shall arrive.
Yeah,
There's Bear.
There's Bear.
There, you missed it. We had a Star Trek moment where we were speaking about Star Trek. We got into one of your streams somehow. It's crazy.
I'm not saying Star Trek is great or awesome or amazing. I'm not saying it changed my life, but I'm going to say that like my entire existence, the happier parts have come about because of a severe addiction to the happiness caused by hearing the original series theme music.
Yeah, actually, the games that Bear's running over on his channel, and if you get a chance, make sure you do check those out. He does those with the Modiphius system, and actually, a lot of people had talked very badly about that system being able to run Star Trek in it. I think it is really well put together and well done, and with the way that the momentum and everything else works within that system, it works very well for it.
I haven't watched his stream of it yet. I'm not a big super fan of Modiphius's systems, but that's mainly for the fact that I like this the licenses they had before. when those licenses weren't part of Modifius's or Free League, I consider those two the same thing. I shouldn't. But I liked original Mutant Chronicles. I liked some versions of Star Trek: The Role-Playing Game. I liked Conan. Even when Conan was part of the TSR lineup, where they were actually putting Conan adventures out with stills from Conan movies with Schwarzenegger on the cover. There's no better archetype for D&D, in my opinion, or low fantasy sword and sorcery than Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Destroyer. Although Conan the Destroyer, I require more alcohol than what I have right now.
Well, you can't play drinking games with every movie, Bruce.
No, you can't, because then you get cellulitis. But I like the fact that somebody can take a license and they can just run it. And when Bear runs his games, I've seen in the past that he has done a very good job of minimizing the rule set and making whatever the actions are going on, that's the focus.
Yeah, he is, very heavily, invested within story, which I absolutely love.
Not against that. Bear, we threw a link at you on Discord. If you wish to join, you can. We're kind of doing a chill stream today to discuss the year. Haven't really watched a whole lot of movies this year. I think I watched about 12. Thanks to Baron G Rock for most of that, but the new ones at least. Although I have to thank Flatey. Flatey purchased a Daily Wire membership for me, so anything they put out that I want to review, it's going to happen. Janet, she's not a super fan of Daily Wire, but she likes some of their stuff, and they've got some new talent coming in to play, so we're going to probably review their new animated show once it debuts. Baron, have you watched season 2 of Goblin Slayer yet, or no?
I have not started on that yet. No.
Have you seen the first?
A long time ago.
I believe
I'm on
somebody
episode like 9.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, gents. How you doing?
How are you
Speak of the man, and he appears.
Speaking of mine, you gave him a link, man. Come on.
Well,
You
yeah.
summoned me on purpose this time, sir. That's what
I
you're saying.
I waited till you were in the chat before I dropped mine.
I think we both said them simultaneously at this point.
There you
Oh,
go.
there.
Actually, you both did. You
Click.
did. It's cool.
Click.
Like I've had the honor of being on with you, Sir Bear.
I made it myself as well. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Doing, sir. I'm doing all right.
Good. So what you painting there? It looks like
They
I don't want to see what that looks like, actually.
I thought it was an Autog.
I thought it was Legend of the Overfiend live action playset. But neat.
False Hydra is what
I keep hearing this. Is this a new monster?
Yes,
It is.
relatively.
Yeah, because I keep hearing about it all over the place. False Hydra. I'm like, I've never heard of this before. And now it's everywhere.
Right.
Cool.
Well, the friends that I've got, some of them showed me one version of it, which it looked like it was a beholder with bardic abilities. And then there's another version out there where it basically makes you forget it's there. This giant grotesque aberration, and it completely destroys your mind unless you're paying full, complete attention to it.
Wasn't there a Buffy episode where there was something that would make them forget about it until they saw it, and then when they would look away from it, they'd forget it existed again?
Is that the fear demon?
No, they were like men. They were, or was that in Doctor Who? Am I confusing Buffy?
it was
and
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
The silence from Doctor Who.
The silence from Doctor Who. That's it. Yeah. There we go. That's it. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
But what we were talking about was Bruce had brought up how he really enjoyed the kind of non-official Star Trek Continues.
Star Trek is used as a masterwork, except for one episode.
Okay.
There's one
I haven't
episode
seen it.
I will not watch. I will not rewatch. I just pretend it doesn't exist. The Civil War episode. Oh, that's a bad episode. That's a bad episode. But otherwise, the show's amazing. I wish they had just made it a series and gave them money, you know?
That's kind of the point me and Janet made last Sunday when we watched it. We watched the first 2 episodes in Discord. Anybody can come on Sundays and start running that about 5 p.m. I know everybody's got other things they're doing. Everybody's trying to vie for time and such, but that's what I'm doing for 2.5 hours. We watch stuff like that, and then we watch a feature we discuss Monday night. But Trek Continues got me crying, Bear. It's so good.
Which episode?
Lilani.
Oh, Lilani's such a good episode. Yeah, totally. Oh, dude, I'm feeling a little misty right now just thinking about it. Oh my God. Yeah. That ending speech. Oh, forget it. You're right. 100%. Right there with you, Bruce.
You're like, why can't Hollywood understand that? That's my biggest problem. They completely urinate on something because it's a purchasable license. It's mine now. I'm going to fuck it all up. And they completely do. They completely do. It's
I think
miserable.
the larger issue there is, some of the people who get a hold of these IPs, they watched it as a child and they had a certain idea of how things, were meant to go in their own mind. They wrote their own fan fiction, and as soon as they got a hold of the license, they made their fan fiction a reality.
Yeah. Also, the other problem is, and this is something a guy from a comic store just got torn apart by some comic professionals because he made a video saying we need to stop having writers self-insert themselves into established characters. It's killing the industry. It's killing the brands. No one wants to read these comics anymore. And all these industry writers went off him on Twitter, calling him a stupid neckbeard. Man's run a comic store for 35, 40 years. You know what I mean? He's part of the crowd that buys their shit. And they just went off on him. And then Mark Miller was like, y'all should be paying attention to this guy and shut the fuck up. And Mark Miller gets to do that because Mark Miller was smart enough to make his own way, do his own thing. Miller World makes him all the money he needs now. So he doesn't have to kiss anybody's ass, right? He doesn't have to kiss Disney's ass. Doesn't have to give Warner Brothers ass. He can do what he wants. That's the problem. When you work for a corporation that has told you, you must follow this political line, you must do these things, if you're a whore, you're a whore. You're going to, pardon my French, you're going to do what you need to do to keep the pimp happy. So that's what all these garbage writers do. That's why they write these garbage TV shows and garbage movies. I saw everybody talking about Daily Wire in the chat and their movies. I've only seen one Daily Wire movie. It was the one about the school shooting. And
Hide Fight.
I love that movie. I didn't even know it was a Daily Wire movie until it was over, and I looked it up online and found it was made by the Daily Wire. I'm like, I missed that in the credits. I love that movie. People were crapping on it, calling it garbage and this and that. And I'm like, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it for the time I was watching it as a low budget, high school.
A low budget Shane Black film, isn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't quite got the Shane Black
Polish.
Yeah, the wit. Let's call it the wit of Shane Black.
I can appreciate that. I put it in Janet's ear that she needs to watch Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, dude, that and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and I just watched The Nice Guys for the first time. Quite enjoyable.
Sweet. Yeah, if you guys don't know, our friend Bear, the Gen X GM, is a huge fan of Shane Black.
Massive. One side.
Did you ever work with him?
No, I've never had the pleasure, sadly, of working with Shane Black. Yeah. Trust me, I'd be jumping up and down if I'd be shouting it from the rooftops. Yeah. But yeah, it's one of these things like, and I talk about this a lot when I talk about Star Trek with people. One of the things that's a big problem for me with modern Star Trek is, and I challenge anyone to do this, go watch TOS, go watch TNG, go watch DS9, Voyager, and even Enterprise, and listen to the English they're speaking. They're not talking modern street English. They're talking a very different type of English, and as a result, it gives some gravitas and some drama to their performances. And then go watch Discovery and Strange New Worlds and all the new stuff, and listen to the English they're speaking. And they're speaking California slang. They're talking like they're in the middle of Los Angeles, and that's just bad writing. I think it was Chris Gore from Film Threat who said the issue is that none of these writers have ever read the classics because they were raised in an educational system where they were taught Melville was problematic. You know, they were taught Stoker was a white male colonial. You know, they were taught all these horrible ideas about these writers, so they never read good writing. So they just read garbage, you know, and they got taught how to write in college by idiots, and now they bring this to the world. And it's sad because as a result, we're losing good stuff.
So if you're going to talk to people about, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Modiphius Star Trek,
Yeah,
how do you sell them on it?
I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't sell people on anything. I honestly believe when you trying to sell people on things, it just turns into a nonsense conversation. I say, hey, I'm running Star Trek. This is the system I'm using. You want in?
Okay.
And if they start arguing with me about the system, well, I'd rather play Last Unicorn Games. I'd rather play Decipher. I'd rather play FASA. Okay, great. I'm running this one. If I ever run those other ones, I'll let you know.
Yep. I still like the Decipher version. That's my biggest problem whenever I see a game go to a new publisher or a new edition. I look at the old one, I'm like, I'm not ready to replace you yet. And that's why I stayed with Pathfinder instead of advancing with 4th and then 3. Or 5.5 or whatever they're doing with it now. That's all. That's my caveat. That's my mess up. And I don't know if, I need to apologize for that, but that's just where I am as a GM, as a gamer. I don't want to replace the bookshelf.
And you
There's
shouldn't
still
have
plenty
to
of tools.
if you don't want to. You shouldn't have to if you don't want to, right? Like that's the thing. It's literally your choice, and it's the game you're going to run. And anyone who has a problem with that, well, then they just don't play with you. Palladium is an awesome thing. I'm getting back into Palladium after years away. The last thing I had ever played, of course, was Robotech, but I got a gift box coming thanks to my subscribers, and I can't wait to check this out. It's going to be awesome.
I just want to see what special little things that Sean threw in there for you when you get
I'm
it.
so stunned, like, you know what I mean? Like, what did he? Because he said, make sure you mark your wish box. This is for Bear the Gen X GM. I'm like, what nonsense is he up to?
And even last night he was just playing like, oh, I don't know what's in there. I can't tell you.
He's gonna be a dead rat.
Like Palladium Fantasy is one of my favorite fantasy worlds, just for the fact of all the various cultures and races. And it actually feels like it's not like we redid AD&D the way we wanted to play it. It feels like it's actually kind of a fresh new thing instead of we redid Gygax. Not that Gygax is bad, but they went so far with their house rules. Are like, we have a brand new culture. We're not using that. We have you're playing in Wolf and Empire right now. You got to figure out how to get along with the pack. And that's the thing. It feels like a different game.
Gentlemen, I need coffee. Give me a couple of minutes, please.
Sure.
Yeah, I've got coffee here, Bear.
Yes, but it's not in Canada.
Yeah, I know. I've actually shipped this blend to Canada before. It cost me more money to ship this to Canada than it cost me to buy it. One of my streamers on Sunday, Mad's Mama Bear, it was Mother's Day, and she doesn't have a boyfriend or husband. She's got me and our friend Colin, so we go splitsies on it, and it cost like $31 to ship it and $16 to buy it. Almost 50 total.
The shipping to Canada is horrible.
I could understand if she lived in like the wilds where nobody drives, like where Crafting Gamers at. Like if you ever Google his address, like you're going on a lot of 2-lane roads. There's some areas that are not asphalt gifted, a lot of dirt. I could see if like you're paying for that, they have to spend fuel to get 3 hours away from a Shell station and in a place where they can refill their mug. I get it. But she lives in Ottawa. Ottawa is it's almost water deep for Canada. That's one of their major metro centers. Shouldn't be hard to fly things into Ottawa and have a bicycle messenger spend 3 minutes on a pedal bike. I know I'm terrible, but
So, out of curiosity, Bruce, having a look back at the year, what were some of your favorite game moments?
ooh, okay. Give me a minute on that, Jade, because I've got
Sure thing.
to review some things. When we talk about this, Jade, like there's a
Mhm.
potential 26 to 40 episodes of gaming that I've had.
Sure. While he's thinking about it, Baron, do you have any favorite game moments that come up?
I think for me it is, and it's got to be the Final Fantasy game you ran for us.
Oh, okay. You're not just saying that, right?
No, I'm not just saying that.
Okay.
Just because of the way that it seemed very easily all melded together, and even though it was kind of cobbled together because you were using a couple of different portions of Index Card RPG, but even by doing that, it still flowed so well, and just the oh, we're getting bombed from above. Okay, let's hug in our mechs, hugging the walls, going, oh God, don't, no. Just that
Okay.
that kind of thing. Just that, to me, that was quite fun, and the way that all the mechanics work together with that, even being kind of Frankensteined up. It
All right.
it worked.
Well, I appreciate the praise there.
Yeah,
I realize
you
it had
really
that profound of impact.
your game you did for your test run was one of my favorite moments as a player I've ever had. Between you and Kai's game, where Kai ran his City Under Siege,
Oh yeah.
those are the two sessions as a player that in the last 12 years they stick out to me. And I'm really blessed to have an outfit like YouTube. As much as I complain and groan about YouTube doing some things I don't like, the fact that they give me the ability to record my streams and show off my friends and their ability to run a game, those two sessions as a player are probably some high water marks that not a lot of other times have been close to. Really.
I appreciate the praise, and I'm sure Kai does as well.
We'll probably see him after 4:00 today.
Okay.
As far as being a GM this year, there was an episode of the game I'm running with my high level crew where they had to fight 3 beholders at once at 13th level average, and there's like 7 or 6 or 8 players, something like that. It's bigger than the usual party. And 3 beholders pretty much, I didn't have a TPK, but I got them on the balls of their feet. I got them off the balls of their feet onto their heels, and I pushed them back for about a good 7 hours. I made the players sweat. And as a GM, I don't think your goal of a game. Oh my God, I don't want to say this because I don't want Connell, who might be listening out there, thinking I'm picking on him. The goal of the game is not to beat up your players and cause them to make new characters. next time they sit down. So that was the way that the game was run by every GM, and how Gary Gygax would want you to play, this hobby would have died off in the mid 80s. It would have been gone. But the players were put on their heels, and they realized they were not out of their league, but they had to come at things a different way. And a lot of their contrivances they'd used to slide through so many situations before were not going to work. I mean, the beholder looks at you, oh, I've got no magical items. I've got no magical abilities. I've got no magic shit. Fuck me. So they had to do something they didn't really want to, but they had to. And so, like, I put a couple of players on the ground, but they didn't stay down for maybe a few rounds. But the party persevered, and they pulled through, which made me very happy as a GM, because you want to see that. You want to see your players, adapt. You want them to think, adapt, and overcome, or there's military lingo where you basically outthink, outflank, adapt, and overcome. And they did. But it took them 7.5 hours to beat 3 beholders and their forces. And that was a really tense game. And the players told me afterwards, they're like, can we not fight beholders anymore? And I kind of look at my aberrations on the shelf. I'm like, but I like the aberrations.
Well, I'll say I actually enjoyed playing in your game also, just for the simple fact of I got a dragon, a mechanical dragon. I mean, come on. Who's not going to be okay with that?
I liked his campaign. I liked how his story went. The fact that he was using his own system, or a system that was heavily based in Palladium, was very interesting. And he didn't make it seem like it was a derivative of any other system. And I think you should keep writing it, Crafting Gamer. We actually, he had me and Janet watch a movie called Cutthroat Island, which is a very good Gina Davis film. It's back in her prime, in my opinion. Gina Davis did all of her own stunts for that movie because they didn't have any stuntmen there.
Not true. Not true. I know people who worked on it. Not true.
Really? Because the IMDb said that
they lie. There was a huge backlash on that one because it was the first film where they started using computers to paint actors' faces over stuntmen, and the stunt community lost their shit on that one.
Oh my fucking God!
Yeah,
I want to bring in Janet and have you talk to her about that, because that's me and Janet were like, my God, Gina Davis is an action hero. She's doing her own stunts. Look at her. And we replayed the part where she fell off the roof, basically.
And the camera's right on her face, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a stunt double with a painted face. It's the first film that did it, and the stunt community lost their minds over this stuff because they were like, once more, stuntmen and stuntwomen are getting pushed into the background again and again and again.
Crafting, we're going to put your discussion of gameplay on hold for a second. I've got to get to this discussion about Cutthroat Island here. Listen, if Crafting Gamer is one that turned us on to this.
Well, it's a behind the scenes thing, right? Like it's not. Yeah. It was never a public event. It was just those of us in the industry knew because we were hearing about it.
Well, that movie, we really liked that movie. We thought that was a great movie, and we were really impressed by it. But I didn't realize, like, along with the fact that Carolco saddled the movie with a $60 million debt they had to overcome to become profitable. They had to become profitable. So they put all the onus on this movie for this huge studio that had been fucking up. And it only had a couple bright spots in the recent past. Terminator 2's money was gone. The money from Total Recall was gone. We're in the mid-90s now. I had already done my active duty time. And here I am back in, Central Illinois. Cutthroat Island's coming out. I want to see this. My mom's like, "You want to see that? That looks like garbage." Well, we didn't even hear about the movie after it came out because it got squashed. It got obliterated by critics.
Well, Michael Douglas was originally the male lead, and then he dropped out because he didn't get along with Gina Davis, and they brought in Matthew Modine because that's how it works, right? Michael Douglas, Matthew Modine. That's your next step.
Yeah. I'm going to go from the guy that did Romancing the Stone to the lead for Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody will give a shit. Michael Douglas could have had a life where at the age of 70 he could get women wet like the great Sean Connery. But he's not doing that. And he's not going to do that because he's not Sean Connery. He doesn't have a half the charisma of Sean Connery. Thankfully, he hasn't been in the camera trying to do that. And I'm happy. Yeah. Matthew Modine was a really good actor in that movie, I thought. I really liked him portraying that character. I don't know the back end of Cutthroat Island. And so me and Janet watched it, and then we started doing our research. And so we only read the things that the fucking studio allowed to get out. You talking about this is the first time I've had a chance to hear this.
Well, I'm out of the industry now, so I don't care what I say anymore. I'm going to get blacklisted. Whatever, that's the way it is. But yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that happens in industry that you guys will never hear about, right? There's a certain British bald actor, Trouble Tommy from who? The Germans, who has a bit of a reputation for being an amazing martial arts fighter in all his films. Well, they shot a little film here in Montreal that he was in, and we all discovered his stunt double was almost his identical twin. Like, it's disturbing how much they look alike. You know what I mean? So it's the Dream Factory, gentlemen. It is smoke and mirrors at the finest level, and they will always do whatever they can to present this story and the narrative they want to present, not the one that's real. It's just the way it is.
Oh. I appreciate you informing me of that. I can't
even back it up, right? Like, anyone could come out and say he's full of shit. IMDb says, well, yeah, I'm full of shit then, I guess, because I can't back it up, but I just know what I know from being in the industry. It's like everybody forgets that Eaters of the Dead, which became 13th Warrior, originally was going to be a Schwarzenegger film when they first started pimping it around and talking about it and doing the casting in Vancouver while I was there auditioning for it. You know what I mean? And then it fell off, came back, and it was no longer a Schwarzenegger film and it had a whole new film title. You never see that on IMDb,
Grandma, RPG Grandma's.
Man, what's going on? Who is this person, Grandma, who's harassing you, and can I have his address?
He's the human chud that is in charge of new TSR.
Oh my God, those fucking losers.
If it's still Justin Lanasa, how is he not penniless and sucking dick for money?
Didn't they make that super racist Star Frontiers
thing? Did.
Yeah.
That's him.
Lovely.
Yeah, me and Donald discussed that. Go ahead.
And then they tried to sue WotC, and then that fell through. We're going to go against a corporation that's got a whole bunch of lawyers that's almost as powerful as Disney.
Yeah. The funny thing is that Disney actually was more profitable. Excuse me. Hasbro is almost more profitable if you just look at their Hasbro stock from Wizards of the Coast versus any of the Disney stuff that happened this year. That's how bad the industry got.
There's that group of investors that tried to do a split off to take Wizards of the Coast out of Hasbro and make it its own thing. It failed sadly, but it was that's how much money it's making. Even the investors and the stockholders are trying to break it off from Hasbro's black hole of suck. Yeah, seriously, Grandma, don't just let him fucking lie. Ignore that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And she's not probably worried about it.
I don't think she's worried about it. I think she's got enough ordinance to make most of his
Yeah.
family regret things.
I saw one of her videos where they were, displaying ordnance, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Bear, what are you saying?
I
What are
never
you
feel
saying,
more
Bear?
Canadian than at moments like that. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't understand what is the allure if you've written a game and if you've got a corporation behind you and if you have enough money to buy the trademark, why are you pissing around with us smaller YouTubers?
Yeah.
And who did you buy the trademark from?
That's also something I'd like to know, but for a different discussion. But that would still be interesting to know who was holding on to the TSR logo.
Yeah.
And said, this is for sale. We can put this out again.
What back alley Chicago deal was made there,
Bear, you're in a chat with three men that mostly spent most of their life in Illinois. We know all about Chicago too.
And your point being, I know about Chicago too.
You're from Chicago?
Nope, been there.
Okay.
And trust me, have way too many friends from there to have not heard the tales of Chicagoland.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they have some of those crazy kind of things that happen up in some of the cities there in Canada also. So
the closer we are to the border, the more your bullshit bleeds over to us. Trust me. When I was in Vancouver, I had to deal with Seattle bullshit.
I'm sorry.
And by the way, I wanted to correct something you said while I was making a cup of coffee. You said Ottawa was Canada's Waterdeep. Hardly. Ottawa is like not even in the top 5 cities in Canada. It's just the nation's capital.
Okay, you can tell my chat is mostly Americanized, so
yeah.
And nobody contested that. But when you look at a map of population centers, Ottawa's a bright fucking center of.
Well, of course it is because it's the nation's capital. It has to be.
But I don't have a clue about how big it is compared to other cities in the Canadian area.
Well, they play games here with the city sizes to try and make them bigger than they are by incorporating the entire area around the city. So Ottawa comes in at about just under 900,000 people, which they say makes it bigger than Vancouver. But when they take in all of Vancouver's surrounding area, it's like 2.5 million. Montreal is 3.5, 4 million, and Toronto is like 6 million now if you take in the entire GTA Greater Toronto area, right? But when you just take the base city core, Ottawa is bigger than a lot of cities because it's 900,000 people, right? But it's not that big at the end of the day. Ottawa, like a bad neighborhood in Ottawa is like a middle-class neighborhood in every other city in Canada. It's like, oh, you live on the bad side of Ottawa? Oh, no.
I actually like Edmonton, which is a very spread out little city.
Yeah. How many times have you been to Edmonton?
Once.
Did you drive around the city?
I did. I didn't drive around it that much. My co-driver got lost.
Yeah, well, that'll happen. Every intersection in Ottawa has a sign that says "Warning: High Collision Intersection" in Edmonton. Sorry, and it's like the weirdest thing is like, why is every intersection in Edmonton a high collision intersection?
They advertise that just so the insurance companies can make more money. That was what we gathered.
Calgary doesn't have those signs, so I don't know. I think it's just Edmonton's a dangerous place, is what I think. Plus, they have mosquito alerts, man. Like the radio will actually announce mosquito alerts in Edmonton and Winnipeg, for example, are the 2 cities in the summer. You have just like clouds of mosquitoes descending on people. It's insanity. It's like living in the Upper Peninsula,
Having been to the Boundary Waters, I can attest to that.
Where are you, Jai? You're in Illinois?
Yeah, I'm in Central Illinois. I was in the Boundary Waters of between Canada and Minnesota for a scouting trip because I was in the Boy Scouts for quite a few years, and I can definitely testify to the cloud of mosquitoes descending upon us.
I drove one time from Vancouver to Montreal, and we went down through from Saskatchewan. We went down and went into the North Dakota, and then came across and came back up through Sault Ste. Marie so we skipped Manitoba and the great west nothingness that is Ontario's western part. And I swear to God, driving through like after Duluth and all that kind of stuff and heading across into the Upper Peninsula, we were driving and like we'd have to stop the Jeep every like 15, 20 miles and get out and smoke like a cloud of cigarettes to keep them off of us while we're cleaning headlights and windscreen. And, there's dragonflies this long sticking out of the radiator, so much so that they dislocated the radiator fan and it started chunking metal into the cooling system. So we broke down in Sault Ste. Marie. We had to spend 5 days in a hotel waiting for a part, But the funniest thing I saw in the Upper Peninsula is we stopped at this gas station, went in to buy smokes, and there was a T-shirt that had a red cross, and it had a dragonfly, mosquito, black fly, and something else, and it said Michigan blood donor. And I was just like, God damn, that's true. That's 100% true. What's the closest thing to Chicago? Toronto is actually, Toronto wishes they were New York, but they're way more like Chicago than they are New York.
Fair enough. I was wanting to know
Toronto.
about that, and one of my viewers asked that question. Thank you, Six Nations.
Happy to help. It's my job, ambassador of Canada. That's what I do.
How was last night's Friday stream with the Legion of Myth? Was it
It
good?
was a hoot. We had a hoot. We had a
Yeah, he got
triangle.
exposed to Dolly Pop.
Oh
She's
my
fine.
god!
I don't know what everybody's
I
slagging
know.
on about. She was fine.
I know. I like Dolly.
I like Dolly a lot, but she can be a train wreck sometimes.
Well, she was
She's-
behaved last night.
She can be a lot of fun. And when I mean a train wreck, I mean like just somebody that like she starts discussing things. You're like, oh my god, I am far too sober for this.
It's like roller coaster ride starts, the arms go up and you wee.
She seemed fine. Expose herself?
No.
I think he meant like, let her feelings, let her
right.
thoughts out. Not her boobs. she's not an OnlyFans girl. Not yet, at least.
Savage.
Let her hit 50.
No. Dolly is good people. But the thing is that it's one of the few people I can see that I've ever seen take besides you, Bear, to take what Max says and like push him up back against the ropes and just kind of hold him there and just keep going. Just kind of hold him against the ropes and just get everything out that needs to get out. Yeah, it's kind of like when he starts going on one of his little things, and you're like, oh, stop.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm an absolute pet and angel when I'm on his show.
Lies.
While
Nothing but respect.
we're trying to swallow that one, Jade, this year, what was one of your favorite moments at the table, either gaming as a GM or as player, and/or?
And you guys already brought up the Final Fantasy setting that I ran for Index Card RPG for you guys, and that was good fun. I only had like 48 hours to cobble that thing together for you guys, and I appreciate the praise on that. But I would say Free RPG Day was some of the best game mastering I think I've done in a while, because I had 3 different groups come in. All brand new players to tabletop role playing. None of them had ever played Index Card RPG. And I'd ran a one-shot for Index Card RPG for them. And all of them walked away with smiles on their faces, having a great time. And to me, that right there is I think why I do it is I like being the game master, because I like my players to get up and have a really great time at the table and then go on to tell others about it. And about the experiences of role playing. And then I like spreading the message of, getting into games. It doesn't matter what game it is at the end of the day. D&D, Palladium, Rifts, GURPS, ICRPG, whatever game interests you, go play it. Have fun with it. Make good memories with good friends, or even friends you've not met yet. Get out there and play games. When the whole OGL debacle happened in like January, February last year, I immediately said, I am not going to cover anything OGL related. I'm not going to mention anything OGL related at all about it, because WotC has shown their hand on what they want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I started saying, play other games. You are not chained to this monster of an 800-pound gorilla in the room. You're not chained to it. Don't have to play that game. There are so many other games out there. Some of them better, some of them worse. But you never know until you try.
Well said.
I agree. I wish I could say I did nothing with the OGL debacle, but I didn't. I did stuff, and I'm fine with that. But I've also confessed on the Legion of Myth last night, I'm done with canceling companies as well as the cancel culture for people. Therefore, when 6th edition comes out, or whatever they're calling this stupid thing coming out in March or May, I'll buy the Player's Handbook and check it out. Why not?
I
Doesn't
don't
hurt me.
know if you'll ever get a physical copy.
Well, Amazon hopefully will have them. Otherwise, I'm SOL.
I didn't hear. I don't think they were making physical copies. I thought they
Oh,
were
they
making
are.
only digital.
They're
Okay.
making physical, but they're going to be $60 American apparently, which means they'll be like $90 Canadian minimum.
Why?
And yes, we use chainsaws as chainsaws. We don't use beavers as chainsaws. But thank you, TCG. You're fucking hilarious.
Although Mr. Max might. That seems like something he would do.
Mr. Max uses himself as a chainsaw. Come on.
Just the thought of a big Canadian girl grabbing a hold of Mr. Max by looping an arm over one leg and then grabbing his other leg's ankle and then holding him like on a harness mid back and then pulling the ripcord so Mr. Max can start his teeth up. All right, that's exactly what I want to do,
What you don't understand is that when you are in the woods and it all go bad like that, there's not much you can do but eat the tree.
Oh, although last night the $5 for hate for people in voice was amazing.
I was whoring myself last night for Max, wasn't I?
What did you do?
Oh, some people threw $5 super chats because I was saying I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anything. Like, hate is such a strong word because it's the diametric opposition of love, and I don't feel that level of passion for negative things. It's just ridiculous to have that level of hate. There are things I dislike, clearly. So I said, I refuse to hate. And then they got this idea in their head. Well, if we do a $5 super chat, will you go off and hate on something we pick? And I'm like, all right, what character voice do you want it in? And it just turned into a thing. And it was, I was whoring myself for Max's benefit because I just want his copy of Degenesis and that he's giving away. So,
Genesis isn't bad. It's not my cup of tea, but it's not a bad system.
The art is beautiful. The lore is amazing. The system I hear is kind of shit.
Yeah, that's what I liked more about it than anything else is how the lore and how their gods tie together.
Who the hell's Elsie McGill?
Who's Elsie McGill of Six Nations?
I gotta look this up. By the way, Six Nations, I'll take you on because I got a 7-nation army.
Oh
no. Canada's first female engineer, Elsie McGill. Good for her.
Okay, so this is an educational stream now.
Oh yeah, you betcha. We're gonna talk all about Canadian stuff, and you're gonna learn a thing or two there, my friend, south of the border.
Hold on, I gotta call the McKinsey brothers and have them come and do an e-commercial for us and get some CBC money.
Take off, eh? You hoser. Like, none of us talk like that except like one small part of Ontario. It's really sad.
then the other part, there's another small part that talks like Mr. Max.
It's not small. This part, is very big. It's bigger than Texas. The game design for me is the most important part of the game. Can it make the role playing? I love doing that to his face. It's even more fun.
Oh yeah, because he just sits there and just dies.
Oh, he loves it.
Every
He gets
time.
the kick out of it. But he and I are actually friends now. We talk offline and shit. We're all behind the scenes a lot, and he's helping me with some stuff on Bastard Sword for probability mechanics and stuff. He's a really smart guy. He's got some dumb ideas, like everybody has some dumb ideas, myself included, but overall he's a really nice guy. He's a good human being, believe it or not. He just says some dumb shit, and I kind of call him on it every time he does because it's funny. And he's like, I don't know why people think I would be better. It's like, okay, fair. Fair stuff.
Now, I asked something while you were up getting coffee, Bear, but looking back at the year, do you have a favored game mastery or player moment from this year?
Well, I'm not a player, so it'll have to be game mastering. I'd have to say, had it been 2 weeks ago, I would have said something completely different. But that first episode of Star Trek Odyssey we did a couple of Mondays ago, and the chat was going crazy, throwing momentum, and with $20, let's have a Tribble show up. And then I had to figure out how to put a Tribble in this goddamn thing. We had so much fun as a group, and the role playing was so on spot, and everybody was really into it, and we had a really, really good time. So I'd say that was probably the high water mark for the year for me. Though it's been a high water year, so to have that as the high water mark is high praise for it, because it's been a pretty goddamn good year. I love my Star Trek games. I'm running 3. There will be no 4th, but I'm running 3, and I absolutely love them. I love the groups. I love how they're all gelling together. Some of the people who've come to play are new people that I've never played with before, and just seeing them come alive and bring interesting characters out has been really exciting. Yes, you can tell I'm from Montreal. I talk with my hands. It's just been really, really fun. But I think if I were to pick a high water RPG moment for me this year, it's been getting deeper into the community and meeting more people like you guys, and having these simulcasts and these panel shows and all this kind of stuff. It's really, really been a lot of fun. And I think we need to keep it going, but we also have to be aware of the negative, because there is a strong undercurrent of negativity, and we have to just either ignore it or excise it, because it's not benefiting anyone. I chose not to make my channel. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I don't feed the trolls.
Yeah. Well, I chose not to make my channel a hate click channel. That was the first thing I chose. I said, it's not going to be about hate, because if I'm going to make my life doing negativity, I'm just going to become a negative person. I mean, I look at all these guys like Nerdrotic and all these kinds of guys, and I go, all you do is talk shit all day long. How is your life full of joy? Because if you're just constantly living in that negative area, you're just going to bring more negativity into your world, and you're going to attract negative people, and it's just going to become a negative experience. So I prefer trying, don't always succeed, but trying to keep it positive. And there's a lot of guys like you, RPG Grandma, Flady. There's all these people that I see in all these chats and all these channels that are repeating. And that's really awesome. And as a result, we're building a really good community here. And I think that was my primary goal, because I looked at all these 5e YouTube elite people and how not inclusive they were to people who didn't agree with them. And I thought that was a bad thing. I thought it would be better to have us all just remember the simple thing is we're all role players. We all like bouncing dice and playing make-believe. That should bind us and bond us more than what version of whatever we play is. Now, am I crazy? Yes. But can it happen? Yes. And it should. And that's why I keep doing it. Let me tell you, there's weeks I'm like, I want to just fucking kill the channel. I just want to delete it and go away. But it's the community that keeps me coming back. It's the people on my Discord. It's that. It's this. It's meeting Bruce and Baron and you. It's this. That keeps me coming back and coming back. I took a couple of weeks off of being on streams because some people didn't like me, and they started going after the stream creators and giving them shit for having me on their panels. And I said, look, I don't care what you say about me, but when you start attacking my friends, that's when I have a problem. So I said, I'll take some time off and let everybody just sort of, not have me around so they don't have to deal with the drama and the stress, because apparently I'm such a fucking bad person. And then Game Masters, I don't know if you guys know Game Masters. He did his first live stream, and he and I've been talking for years. We've been friends offline and behind the scenes. He said, you want to come on the stream? I said, dude, I'm taking a break. He's like, I know. Well, here's the link. You decide what you want to do. And I was like, all right, I'll come hang out. And I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm back in. Let's just do it. And if anybody has a problem, and I had people like Max come to me, Mr. Max Leal, and say, look, I don't care what they say to me. I want you on my streams. I'm like, okay, if you're willing to handle that shit, I'm happy to be there. But I think it's sad that we have to deal with certain things like that. I think it's sad that some of the people in our community act like children and just can't accept that some people have different opinions than them. And it's okay. That's what makes our world interesting, is differing opinions. It's what lets us think. It's what lets us challenge. I do not hold all the right answers. Therefore, talking to someone who has a different opinion than me might actually expose me to something that'll help me grow my knowledge. Crazy idea, I know. And I'm just tired of the childish way. Look at
I
that.
just responded to Plady in chat.
Lady, I hope that you continue to have fun with the crew, with the community. Eventually, you find yourself at a spot where you can make a big change in your life and either go through with it, or you adapt to a happier thing. A lot of his problem isn't really a quote unquote a problem per se. It's just like, daily minutia and letting that get the better part of you, letting that steal your joy. I think that's a lot of our problems. We just let the small things eat at us too much. And instead of just hearing somebody's going through the same fucking thing we are, we listen to the wrong people and say, man, this sounds insurmountable. You might want to just go for that Canadian made. Oh, thanks. Thanks, fucker.
I mean, I was definitely in that same boat for probably I think it was like 2022. I just ended running Wrath of the Righteous for Pathfinder 1E using the Mythic system, and it was such a drag to be a game master for that specific story or adventure path, because the writing for the game master side of things was so piss poor. Like the players outmatched everything at every turn, and the options for the game master in the rules as written were such garbage that I'm like, I have to make all new abilities. I have to make all my own unique things to even pose a challenge to my players at this point. And it was so much work to try and figure out new ways of challenging players who had these mythic godlike powers that I ended up taking an entire year off from gaming because it was just awful. And I ended up hating and despising 3.5 and Pathfinder 1E, the point where I almost took all my books off the shelf and threw them on a bonfire. Like, I was that done with gaming as a whole. I just wanted completely done with it. Then my wife and I, my wife, being the amazing woman that she is, convinced me to look at other games, which is why, this entire year I've been saying, play other games, play more than just one game.
Absolutely.
Because I read through probably 15, 16 or more different game engines. I read 2D20 Conan. I read the original Conan RPG. I read through parts of Palladium, GURPS, and Sword and I think it was Sword and Sorcery, or maybe it was Cloak and Dagger. But I landed with Index Card RPG because it was the one that I could do the most with. So that that re-sparked or reignited my love and passion for imaginative play and imaginative realms and exploration and adventure. So if you're tired of gaming and you're tired of the same old, explore something new. Get out there and find a group that is completely different than your usual game that you play, and really just give it a chance and get into it.
Yeah, and above all else, remember that there is a game out there for you, even if it ends up being the one you make. You know what I mean? And don't just think about new stuff. Look at old stuff as well. I mean, there's tons of options out there. Like I don't care for Index Card RPG. I bought it, I read it, sold it to a friend, moved on.
Yeah.
But when I first picked up, I backed Conan 2D20 when it was originally in the Kickstarter, and I got it, and I read it. I was like, it's not for me. And a friend, one of my players read it, and he goes, yeah, I don't like this game. I said, okay, cool. And I gave it all to a friend who was really into Conan. He was quite happy to have it all. So when Modiphius Trek came into my life, I'm like, it's the same system? Really? All right. And then I tried it again, and I tried running it. And I'm like, oh my God, actually, there's really simple ways. So, okay, you had asked me earlier about how would I sell 2D20 Modiphius Star Trek, and I said I wouldn't. But I would say this, if anyone wants to run the game, there is a ton and a half of little mechanics in the game that don't really, in my opinion, do much to make the game better. They're just mechanics. If you just throw those out as you see fit and just base everything around those 2D20 and successes, you can actually run a fast, exciting game, which is what I've been doing on my Star Trek streams. I've just been like, how's that rule work? I don't care. And we move on. And we have fun. Because it's very narrative at that point in time. We get to just say, how many successes do I need? Roll your dice. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? But if you want that level of crunch, the crunch is there. But I completely changed my mind on the 2D20 system as a result of that. So I actually have a lot of respect for it. I am tired of D&D clones. I'm here with them. I'm done. Like, I don't back any of them anymore. I'm not interested in kickstarting any of them anymore because they have their communities, and God bless them, and keep doing what you do because you're producing material, and that's fantastic. That's not for me. And I can accept when something's not for me, but also when something's not for me, that doesn't immediately mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's garbage. That doesn't mean it's shit. I don't like Index Card RPG. That's fine. But Hank Nail has built a huge community around that game, and he's done very well for himself. And a lot of people like yourself love playing that game. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong. I'm going to tell you clearly you're doing something right because you're having fun. And as Curtis said, if you're playing Shadow Dark, well then 50 years of innovation just for you right there. But I'm tired of D&D. Though that said, I've now suggested I might run a D&D game in 2024 just for fun. And I think I might use 4E just to piss everybody off. Just to go, fuck you, I'm running 4E. You don't like it? Too bad, don't watch. Because I'm tired of these edition wars. I'm tired of these right, proper, this is the one true way of D&D mentality that I see way too often.
Bear has discovered the Priors of Gygax.
Oh, I've known them for years, dude. I'm just done with this mentality. It's like the people that just auto shit on 5e. I've said many times there is a fantastic core engine in 5e. There's a really, really, I don't like the execution of it that WotC's done, but there's an amazing core engine. What I want to do now, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard 13th Age is the Star Wars saga system that WotC had produced that was supposed to be 4E and then wasn't, done in a fantasy way. This is what I've heard. Now, I love Star Wars saga. I thought it was great, and I was very sad when that wasn't the new D&D because I was really excited for that. There is Fantasy Concepts, which is a hack, and I have it somewhere on my shelf, I think, that they did the Saga Star Wars as a D&D game. And I think I might even look into that just for fun, just because it's something else. It's something different, right? Bastard Sword's always there on the back burner. Heroic's going to be a big launch for us this year coming up. And, it's just, I got things to do, and I don't have time to argue about whose game is better. My dog's better than your dog because my dog loves Armor hot dogs. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's not important. Are you playing? Are you having a good time? Is RPG Grandma rolling dice with you? Great. Are you sitting around bitching that everybody's wrong because they don't play the one true game you love? Be it Castles and Crusades or OSE. What?
My name is Scotty J. Garibay, and if you don't play the newest shiny edition of the game, you're hurting Gary's feelings.
Is it wrong that when he does his videos from a car, I'm really hoping he has an accident? Is that am I going to hell?
The only reason why. It's the only reason why I watch his stuff.
What's this?
And as Bear said, the Heroic is now in Becker Kit.
Woo-hoo.
So he just shy of 40 folks to actually get the green light to
Yep.
be able to present it to us. Barry, you want to
What would you like me to say?
tell me a little bit about the system?
Well, if you've played Marvel Superheroes, you've played it. If you've played what everyone calls phase rip, which drives me up the wall sideways, you've played the game ultimately. But what I did was, and I hate name dropping, and I don't want to sound like I'm name dropping, but it's very important for this, which is that years and years ago, I had a podcast, and I did a run of talking to superhero game creators, and I talked to everybody I could get my hands on for an interview. And one of them was Jeff Grubb. And Jeff and I had a fantastic, and he's been back twice on my channel for 4 Color Cafes now that I'm on YouTube. And he said something to me that was fantastic. We were talking about clones and all the stuff that was going on. He says, game design in that nature should be a conversation. The first game was the start of the conversation, and anything you do design based off of that should be a continuation of the conversation. So that's what I feel I'm doing with Heroic, is I'm continuing that conversation. Then Tim Bannock brought out Astonishing Superheroes, which is a Marvel Superheroes clone. And I was like, I don't need to make my game anymore because he's done it already. It's amazing. It's great. And then he stopped doing his game because this Phase Ripopedia came out, and he's like, I don't know, everyone's talking about that. My game's fallen off. I'm like, your game's amazing. What are you talking about? Because, yeah, I don't have the time. You know, my life's complicated. I just can't keep dedicating this energy to it. I said, okay, well, why don't we... There's a lot of stuff you did good in that. Do you mind if I co-opt that stuff into what I'm doing? And he's like, absolutely. And then he became an editor with me as well, and we're working on that. So Heroic is now a fusion of my ideas and what I feel are his best ideas from Astonishing Superheroes, and we're bringing it together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the Marvel Superheroes role-playing game from the 80s, reimagined with some new interesting ideas and based in my own comics, the Zenith universe, of which you can find on Drive-Thru Comics. But that's what it is. It's a D percentile color chart, play superheroes, have a fun time game. If you're into building heroes like in Mutants and Masterminds and Champions, and that's what you like, this is not the game for you. Just move along. You will not like it. But if you're into just having fun, rolling dice and having a hoot and being able to do whatever you want to do, as long as you can rationally explain it and come up with, you know, a reason for it, this will be the game for you. This will be the least intensive superhero game you've ever played. And the system, I've often said that the key to being a good GM is system mastery. You must master the system you're running so you can just roll with the blows whenever anything happens. Well, Marvel Superheroes, I have absolute system mastery of. So I know how robust and deceptively simple that, like, it's deceptively robust. The game seems simple, but when you can actually get into it, you can do almost anything with it. And that's what I'm trying to recreate, and that's what I'm hoping will come out of it all. We're in editing right now. We're getting the basic beta play test together, and that'll be released on Drive-Thru RPG as a pay what you want. So if you've already backed Mighty Superheroes, as soon as I have the document, you're going to see Mighty Superheroes get renamed as Heroic, and then everyone who's backed it is going to get the updated file. And then in February, so provided I have 200 people say they would be willing to be into this, yes, count me in, Backer Kit will approve it. Will come up. We need to raise $5,000. What is that money going to? My writing team, my layout guy, and my artist. That's where all the money's going. I get nothing out of this. And then once so you'll get the game for free if you just go and get the pay what you want and pay $0. But if you want to see it have art and production value and get a print on demand and all that kind of stuff, come on over. It's going to be worth it for you, I think. And the art's going to be amazing because my artist Oliver is back in the mix, which was like such a happy day for me because that guy's been, Marvel snatched him up from me after the first 2 issues of Heroic. And I was just like, oh man, like, I love this guy and I can't work with him anymore. But he's like, I should have some free time about mid-year. And I said, okay, I'm locking you in for thousands of dollars of art. So, you know, hopefully it's going to be a success.
Yeah. And I believe this is some of the art that
that's
that he has
art.
done.
Yeah, that's Oliver's art. That's Lady America. She's the flagship character of the Zenith universe, and yes, she's Captain America with tits for the cynical. But you know, it is what it is.
But yeah, it looks like 163 people as of right now have backed it. So you're in the home stretch. 40 more, and you or less than 40, and you are good to go. So if you guys get a chance, under no obligation or anything else like that, just say yes, you want to see this go, sign up. If you've got multiple emails, who knows? I mean, no one's going to check anything on it. So I mean, yeah. I mean,
Well, someone said something to me. They said, why does BackerKit need you to, have 200 people say they're interested in your project before they'll approve it? Kickstarter just lets you put it up. I said, yeah, but Kickstarter doesn't work with you. Kickstarter just leaves you in the wind to do what you need to do and succeed or fail on your own merits. BackerKit has already assigned someone to me. And if the project gets greenlit, that person works with me with BackerKit to make sure we succeed. Now, for example, when we were talking to Sean Robertson from Palladium Games, he was talking about how BackerKit's president was working with them, because that's the level Palladium's at. Okay, I'm not Palladium, but I still have someone at BackerKit who will be dedicated to helping my project succeed because they know how much money they can make and they want to make money off of that, right? And they're going to invest their time, which is their money, into the success. And I really respect that about them. I think BackerKit understands the gaming community and understands what kind of resource and success we can bring. And we see that with things like MCDM's $3.5 million BackerKit that's happening right now. That's good stuff, man. And other stuff like, Dungeon Damsel, when she raised $30,000 for her Shadow Dark expansion that she's doing, for Kelsey's game. Great. If I get my 5K, I'm happy because I can produce my game. If I get more than 5K, we got some stretch goals planned. One of them is going to be STLs of all the characters that'll be presented. So you can print up those miniatures and go have a good time, paint them up, and have superhero battles with your hero clicks or something. I don't know, whatever you like.
Do a
But the point
refresh
is,
on that, Garrett. Refresh.
I already closed it. Give me a second.
We're at 165, sir. Thank you, everyone who just went and signed up. I appreciate that. 35 more people, and we're good to go. And then, I got to convince you all to give me money after that. That's the hard part.
It's not difficult.
Writing the game's easy. Getting the money, well, that's a different beast.
Yeah, I plan on doing my version of the game where pay what you want, and I really don't want a whole lot of money at all because I just want to be able to get it out there and have people go back to crunchy games. I know you're into fun games. I like games with speed factor. So, like, if you're swinging a sword, you're casting a spell, depending on how big your sword is or what the spell is, somebody might interrupt you.
Oh, no. I like medium crunch.
Okay.
I am actually into some levels of crunch. My favorite, I've said this many times, my favorite D&D clone is Pathfinder Beginner Box 1E. I think that is probably the most elegant D20 iteration ever. But it's still a little crunchy. It's still got some crunch. It's not Pathfinder 1E crunch, which is madness as far as I'm concerned, but that minimum crunch is good. Grandma, thank you so much. I hope when it comes out you get to enjoy it. And don't worry, I'll be running games on my channel, so you'll get to see it in action.
That's going to be where the money's at right there. Seeing you actually run it like what you're doing with Star Trek is going to be fun as hell.
Hopefully.
Yeah, budget's a thing, but at the very least, like, PDF or something that might help you out.
PDF's going to be $15. We're looking at the print on demand as $35 for the soft cover and probably $45 for the hardcover, and that'll be a drive-through RPG coupon, and then you just pay your shipping at that point in time. And that's what we're sort of looking at as our pricing. And any extra money we get, we're going to have some specific stretch goals, and I've set things like miniatures ridiculously high because I don't ever expect to see that money. But between the first stretch goal and that, any extra money we get is just going into the art. More characters, more NPCs, more villains, more organizations. I've got a universe of over 500 characters that I've been working on since the 80s. I've published 2 self-published comics based in it. I had a Kickstarter where I was putting up stats for things. Not a Kickstarter, a Patreon, which I've closed now because I wasn't producing anything and I felt bad about it. That'll come back in the new year, I'm sure. And it's all there. I just need to be able to pay men who know and the women who know how to draw stuff to draw it for me, that I can give it to you, because I won't accept subpar art for any of my projects. I just refuse. If I see bad art in something, it turns me off. And you know what, Grandma, if you can't back it, you let me know and I will throw you a review copy for your channel. How about that? And you can be as honest as you want about it. Don't worry about it. Don't spend money you can't spend. I don't want anybody to spend money they can't spend ever. That's not right. There we go. Can we stop my shilling now, please? I always feel uncomfortable when I shill. It's that Protestant Canadian thing.
What type of Elsinore flavored beer would you drink while you're playing your game?
I don't drink.
Oh,
Yeah. It's really hard when you're a Canadian and you don't drink. It's just, they keep wanting to kick you out of the country. It's just insane.
it's a little heavy on the sap.
Yeah.
I just watched this movie that was filmed in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan called Escanaba in the Moonlight. It is
Okay.
a Jeff Daniels movie. He made a play. He bought a playhouse in his hometown, wrote a play, loved it, had a lot of people come say it was great. So he made the movie for $1 million with Harv Presnell. A
Okay.
bunch of nobodies. But he did this movie back in 2000, and they lined up people all over Michigan in front of theaters to go see it. And it's
In
a
the
great film.
moonlight. Well, he's a Youper. They're up into upper
This is a
Youper, upper
great
Peninsula.
movie. You would dig it. You would completely dig it.
Probably.
It's for
I like
free
it.
on YouTube. Just do
I'll
a
check it
search
out.
on it.
I love good movies, man. I also love bad movies. I just love movies.
I love movies.
I tend to be there's two things that I will always grab. One, I will try to find every movie that I can that has Danny Trejo in it, just because it's Danny Trejo. And the other is I love bad, like just bad, not even B movies, just bad movies, because a lot of them are so amazing. Like Wolf Cop. I'm sorry, the main character's name is Lou Garou. I mean, yes.
Yeah, okay, come on. But at the same time, in Angel Heart, a non-bad film, Robert De Niro's character is named Louis Cypher. There's a precedent for bad shit. I'm a huge Mystery Science Theater riff tracks junkie. Not the new stuff. The new Mystery Science Theater annoys the crap out of me, but that's because Felicia Day and Patton Oswalt just go away and take Will Wheaton with you, please. But the old MST3K, I'm 100% a Mike guy, not a Joel guy at the end of the day. But I love watching those. Like, I mean, come on. Daredevil, Ben Affleck's Daredevil is a bad movie. But when you watch it with riff tracks,
It's classic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Twilight is the only way I can watch it is with riff tracks.
Hawk the Slayer.
Yes.
I know so many people in our hobby think Hawk Slayer is such a great. I think it's an awful film, but watching with riff tracks, chef's kiss, it's so good.
One of these days, I'll be doing that in Discord because I've got that on my account.
TCG, you mean the new Waxwork with Paris Hilton? I've never seen it.
Not that one. There was one with
the original
people.
Oh, with Vincent Price?
I don't think it's Vincent Price. It's a Vincent Price wannabe.
House of Wax, or is it something else I'm thinking of?
1988.
Oh no, Waxwork. No, I've never seen that. Is it any good?
Yes, indeed, it is very good. There's even a homage they give
Galligan's in it.
Yes,
and there's a second one that they put out.
John Rhys Davies as the werewolf. Miles O'Keefe as Count Dracula. Shut up. How much Keefe is in this movie? Miles O'Keefe. I'm in. I'll check it out. Absolutely, I'll check it out.
That is such a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought I was going to hate it because it's just a shitty 80s excuse for, we got pretty people. Let's put them in bad situations. The entire movie's great. The entire movie's gold.
Bruce Campbell's in the second one, along with Marina Sirtis.
Marina Sirtis?
Sirtis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marina Sirtis.
Man, did you ever see the Red Letter Media when they were explaining about, they were talking about Death Wish 3? And then Marina Sirtis is at a Star Trek convention, and she has an episode of PTSD in front of the entire auditorium of people, saying, "I used to do really bad movies. This television project, this Star Trek, this saved me because I was having to have movies where I was being violated." And like she's like, just bawling her eyes out, recanting the loss of whatever virtue she may have had as an actress, where Top gets ripped off and Alex Winter's there and all that stuff. And Death Wish 3 does have a rape scene. It doesn't really quote unquote look that bad. It's a rape scene. Okay. It's not great. It's not a good event. But what they put on film is nowhere near what she endured, because that was what 6-8 hours of trying to get that shot. And the director was a dick to her.
Oh, yeah, he was apparently a piece of shit. Yeah.
She had a fucking moment, and you got Mike Stoklasa there recalling it. And from his perspective, from his discussion, like I was in tears crying about it because Marina Sirtis had just eaten crows on social media talking bad about something she shouldn't step into. And it's like, well, you fucked around, now you found out. But her episode, I felt sorry for her afterwards. So I'm like, man, I bet you that was a shitty day for her. I mean, it was a good paycheck, I'm sure, or at least it paid the bills, but man, that must have been a shitty day for her.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. And I realize how much of a dick I am when I say things like that, but nobody's perfect, people.
Well, we come to expect it, Bruce. It's okay.
Here's the thing, dude. No one puts a gun to your head as an actor and says, do this or die. You always make a choice, right? It's always a choice. And in my career, there were times I said, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, really? No, I'm just not doing that. That's not happening. Sorry. And when you're a younger actor, you don't do that. You say yes to everything, and then you get hurt or you have a bad experience. But as you get older, you start to realize, no. It's not in my contract. I'm not doing it. If I didn't get contractually obligated to do this thing, I'm not doing it. What pisses me off, and it's a secret my friend taught me, says when you shoot your film, if you have nude scenes, shoot them first. Because what will happen is a lot of these young actresses will agree to the contractual nude scene, and then they'll shoot for 2 weeks with them, and then they'll say, I'm not doing the nude scene. And now they got to go with it because they've just shot 2 weeks of material with this person, right? And that to me is bad faith. Like it's you agreed to something, you do something. But it's when they come and ask you to do extra stuff, you got as an actor learn to say no. Because otherwise they will just take whatever they can get, and they will lie. They will lie. They will lie. They will lie. If you ever need proof of that, look at what they did to what's her name in Kill Bill? Thurman with the car scene where she's driving the car through the woods at top speed, and they told her it was all safety rigged and everything, and it wasn't. And if she had gone off the road the wrong way, she would have gone straight into a tree and through a windshield. You know what I mean? They lied to her to get the shot. And that's one of the problems that happens is they will lie to make their day, and then someone gets hurt, and then suddenly they're all on the back foot. We need to regulate the industry. We need to do this. We need to do that. It's a really horrible thing. That's why Alec Baldwin should never be allowed to work in film again, as far as I'm concerned. But no one seems to give a shit. I think the rules are if you kill someone, you're out. But that also means John Landis needs to go too. Like that's just the way it is.
As much as I like John Landis, we can make movies without him in Hollywood. No offense.
Yep. And that's the other thing. People go like, why is Max Landis such a piece of shit? Have you seen what his father did in his career and the backstage stories about him? There's bad parents produce bad children. It's just the way it is. And Hollywood is literally the only industry where you can fail upwards. And the people that are at the top do not care about cinema. They do not care about, all they care about is money and power. That's it. That's all. And they will abuse it. They will use it. And I'm starting more and more and more to realize that is a little weird place to go. And I'm not trying to open up a QAnon conversation, but there is a dark weirdness in the film industry, a very dark part of it. And it's not good.
Yeah, I don't want you to start watching Janet from Another Planet's show her discussions on Twitter because she gets into the CD.
I don't tweet.
shit.
I'm happy. I stay out of that cesspool.
Okay. She's big on like all the dark shit goes on in Tinseltown because she's got an IMDb page like you do.
Mhm.
And she's been in places, she's seen things, and she's living right now a happy life in somewhere in BFE, Arkansas. And I don't know. I mean, it'll take a good paycheck for her to want to even think about going back, but she's happy where she's at, and she's happy to, be like, we need to make kids safe. We need to make it to where, kids can have a future. They don't go disappearing, they don't go missing, they don't have weird accidents on set. That's Janet's big hot button. You want to talk to Janet for 7 hours straight? Talk to her about the kids in Tinseltown. Wow. Yeah, Six Nations went the other direction with that. The direction I was avoiding. Good job.
Me
Wait,
too.
there's a puddle. We gotta hit it with all 4 tires. Bam, bam, bam.
All right, well, gentlemen, I've got to get going. Have a great rest of your day, and for you all out there, have great holidays.
Nice meeting you. Merry Christmas, sir.
Jade, be well, man.
Or happy
You
Kwanzaa
too.
or a tip-top tet or whatever you celebrate.
Happy Hana Rana Kwanzaamas.
What
There we
go.
do Frisbeeantarians do for December 25th?
I don't know because I'm Catholic.
Burn!
But I'm Tish. Have a good night, my friend.
Enjoy your midnight
You too.
mass.
I don't know if he's not 100%
Practicing.
yes. So I don't know if the midnight mass will be there or not.
Oh, dude,
But,
I used to go to midnight mass, and I'm not even a Catholic. It was the best.
See, with his wife though, I'm not allowed to play board games with her because we wind up ruining games when we get together. We were playing. There's a game called Secret Hitler. I don't know if you're
Hitler? What?
Secret Hitler.
What?
It's a game.
Okay, I need to get a drink, but I can hear you as I'm doing it.
Okay. So essentially with this is that you are, the ways to win is to either have the party in control at the end, or for the quote unquote secret Hitler to become chancellor. So, and you put down things that will force the hands of them, but at the beginning of the game, the people who are part of that party and of course the secret Hitler all have to open their eyes and know who each other are so they can work together. And when you make faces and stuff like that, that ruins the game. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I ruined the game several times with his wife. But she's a huge board game girl. She loves her board games. So
I don't want to play Secret Hitler.
I don't want to play Werewolf either. Werewolf and Secret Hitler are kind of the same.
Yeah.
yes, similar, very similar.
Put your heads down. Now the person that has this card and this card, you need to raise your heads up so you can see who you are. That kind of pissed me off. Like I was playing Werewolf the first and only time, and I get the Oracle card. Okay, cool. Oracle. Look up. Hold up your Oracle card. Okay. I get to see that. I get to see who the 2 werewolves are. So for the rest of the fucking 5 minutes I'm playing, I'm like, that's the fucking werewolf! That's what made my nose bleed! And so I got killed the next fucking night. I got killed.
Whose birthday is it?
His
wife.
wife's.
Ah, well, happy birthday to her.
That'd be my wife. And that's a Rocky. The Rocky Pop. Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't had the pups in.
Well, Mama's home.
Oh,
Well, no, she's not. No, she's not home. She's probably still hooked up to the machine. She's doing her dialysis right now. So
yay! Pump out the toxins.
yes.
This is a game that I would love to be able to run with a group of people that would just want to laugh and have a fun time and just maybe sometimes be completely sociopathic, but
Hmm.
that is a fun game to me. Everybody is like, wait, you listen to Limbaugh, we can't play with you. I'm wanting to be on the computer. Come on. I want to help you find your goals and get you new clones.
What, you coming up? You coming up, or you just stand down there and meowing at me? What are you doing?
Apparently, Bear is having his own pet problems.
I'm going to.
Misty?
It's Misty. Misty kind of
Yeah, Misty Beans
Sometimes.
makes the full meow, and Misty does the little squeaky meow.
Yeah.
And Misty is, it's funny, as they're getting older, Misty's getting more cuddly, and Beans is getting more independent, which is weird because he was like super attached to me for the first year of his life.
See, I would have never thought you would actually be a cat person, Bear.
Love cats. Love dogs. Love horses. Love animals. Hello, I see you, Beans. Sleeping on the beanbag. Come here, Misty. Come here, asshole. You're such an asshole. These cats are assholes. I have asshole cats.
Cats are assholes.
Mine are extra assholes. I tried to take a nap this afternoon because I'm on vacation. I'm like, ooh, nothing to do. And they woke me up. Oh, here's your poppers. Here's your poppers.
Yeah, he was CP on the couch.
And it looks like you woke him up, yeah.
That's
He's
not
my
bad.
toddler. He's my toddler. Give it to people.
Calvin on. He's like, Bear, stop eating all the animals.
He doesn't
I
eat
like
animals.
horses too, but I don't tell people that I eat them. I didn't deny that I eat them. I just don't tell people about it.
Well, you know. Yeah, no.
I'm only 140 miles from Mexico, guys.
I have
down there is different.
2 black cats. So they may be demons. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be possible.
Bear, do you watch a lot of Dario Argento films when you were younger?
I watched my fair share.
Okay.
Why do you
What would
ask?
be, well, if you were going to run a game of Night of the Demons, what would be the quick?
Come on, we gotta get some weapons, arm ourselves. I love those movies. What would be what?
What would be the system you go for?
Unisystem.
The Unisystem?
Yeah, the cinematic version, the Buffy Angel Army
Yeah.
of Darkness version.
They also make an Aliens, don't they?
No, that's Aliens is Alien is Free League.
My bad.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
Now, Unisystem is Eden Games, Eden Studios. So all flesh must be eaten, and all the derivatives of that. Witchcraft, C.J. Carella's Witchcraft, Buffy, Angel, Army of Darkness, and some others. I'm probably Conspiracy X, and there's some others I'm forgetting. They had
used
this
to have
the City of Heroes
Conspiracy X.
license. They never did anything other than an introductory primer, and then they never finished the game.
I used to have Conspiracy X, hoping it would turn into a X-Files RPG, because one of my tables I've had in the past was really into crypto and fucking, Art Bell shit. So that would have been like a natural for us, And hell, a couple of those guys were even big tabletop mini players. And every time I'd go see them, they had a copy of XCOM running in the background. It's just waiting for me to make my next turn.
Oh.
We really like that. We really like what they started doing with Conspiracy X and Lester Smith. Wasn't he the guy that wrote that?
Don't know.
I thought it was Lester.
Could be.
He's like an independent gaming god, or used to be.
Well, the big problem is that CJ Corella owns the Unisystem, so they use it under a license from him, which is why they never opened up their publishing branch to let other people go in and publish for them, which is a shame because the Unisystem is an elegant, fantastic, robust system, but sadly, you can't publish for it. Dave Chapman and George Vasilikos wrote Conspiracy X.
Okay. For some odd reason, I was thinking it was Lester.
No. Negatory, my good friend.
We have reef sharks down in Corpus Christi, right on that hook, and then you can stake them out on the dock. It's great. What sucks is when you're eating your shark at home after you've grilled it, you get a little piece of splinter in your teeth. Oop. I cut that one a little too hard.
Never had shark.
It's very plentiful here. I didn't mean to catch the shark. I had caught something else, and I'm seeing the fish as I'm reeling it in. And I'm elevated off the water. I'm not like one of these guys that gets in the water with the waders on. And no, that's just bad. Don't do that down here. And as I'm reeling this thing in, it's about 20 feet away from me, and I see a shadow come up and grab my line and the hook attached to it with the fish. And the shark, I got 2 for 1 on that catch. And that's the last time I went fishing because I don't want to ever have a day of disappointment after that.
Yeah.
It was like 4 feet of shark. It was great.
You peaked.
Yeah.
Fair.
Now, see, Bear, you should have Bruce on your Saturday night show. Your kind of your
On the Bears Cave?
yeah,
He's
because he's actually had some experiences
with what?
With Bigfoot.
No, well, I'm not doing cryptids tonight. I couldn't find any good cryptid videos, so I'm just going to do a Nuke's Top 5 ghost video again.
What cryptid? Do you like Donovan Dread?
Don't know who that is.
It's the Dread Network is on YouTube, and they've got a bunch of affiliate channels. They've got one called Dread Captures, and they do nothing but trail cam videos, basically.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to do a good reaction sort of video to that, you can, and mute it and throw the closed captioning on, and you can pause it and comment on it and have fun with it.
Well, yeah, maybe. I'll look into it. I just went looking for good cryptid videos, and I couldn't find anything that I thought was worth spending time on.
The one that pissed me off recently was the train that saw they had all those people film Bigfoot.
The might have been a guy in a ghillie suit one.
Yeah. It just it looks too suspicious.
Did you see the mountain one, the skiing one on the snow?
No.
They're about half a mile away or something, and they're just looking at the side of the mountain, and there's this creature, dude walking across the snow on the mountain. It's a very good one. That one made me go, "Ooh, what's that?" Like that type of reaction.
Nice.
As opposed to the other one, the guy on the train, I was like, yeah, it's a little too good,
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's probably a guy in a ghillie suit fucking around.
That's what I was thinking. The one that really made me go, huh, is there's a guy that was on TikTok, and he filmed a few giants or something on a mountainside, and then he starts driving up like a week or two later up
it's
the
all
side
fake.
of the mountain.
It's all fake.
That was fake?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, fucking Y-Files did a whole thing on it, and they pointed out like this is where cops don't drive this car. Why is this cop wearing these kinds of shoes? And notice how the cop doesn't sound like a cop when he's talking to him through the thing. It's like it's his buddy. You know what I mean? Okay. And they set up this whole thing. Then the guy died, and there was but here's the problem. They said he died. Okay, and they posted the obituary. in the Campbell River newspaper, but he's supposed to be from the interior. Well, Campbell River's on Vancouver Island. That's not the interior. So why would a guy who lives in the interior have his obituary in the Campbell River paper?
That doesn't sound right.
That's weird.
all.
It's like there's a couple hundred miles, easily between those two locations. And the Juan de Fuca Straits, you got to take a ferry, So like it was just a weird, like all those little things didn't add up, and it just started to feel like someone trying to get clout. You know what I mean? I'm very cautious about this stuff. I believe in cryptids. I believe in UFOs. I don't believe in ghosts. And whenever I see stuff, I'm always watching it like, Like my favorite ghost hunting channel is Mindseed TV. Fake. But man, their production value is good. Like they really make the effort. So I kind of get caught up in it while I'm watching, and I feel the chills, and I'm like, oh, it's really fun. But it's all fake, just fake. Ghost hunting is so stupid. Just the stuff they do. And it's like EVPs. I have yet in my life to hear an EVP where if they don't tell me what it's saying before they play the EVP, I hear what they say it says. But once they tell me, like, oh, you can hear it say, help me, I'm on fire. And then it's like, yeah, I hear it. That's pareidolia. That's audio pareidolia, right? You're hearing what they tell you to hear. That's why I loved Art Bell, because Art Bell used to have that reverse speech guy on all the time. The guy that eventually tried to destroy Art because Art kind of took him to task one night and said, yeah, I'm not hearing what you say you hear here. I think this is a bit of a reach. And he got mad, and he went with some other people and tried to accuse Art Bell of a bunch of horrible things. Wound up in court. The whole thing blew up in court at the end of the day. But it's like, yeah, if you tell me what I'm seeing, then I can't be sure I'm seeing or hearing what's really there because you've told me. So now my mind is looking for that, right? Mm-hmm. If you just run it and then go, what'd you hear? That's a different story at that point in time. And I have yet to hear an EVP that works like that. They always kind of, I don't know. Plus, they're really easy to fake, like really easy to fake. And the other thing that drives me nuts is, Bob confirmed he was the only person in the building that night. Oh, so we have Bob's word for that, do we? That's it. Like the only person that we can take to Bob, the guy who's posting the video, he's the one. Now, the videos I do like are the people who have like outdoor channels or family channels, and then like one video in their entire library is something weird happened.
Yeah,
those guys I find interesting because it's like, what the hell was that? Like that guy who the wilderness explorer who found the circle of trees that had all the missing people pictures nailed to the trees in plastic sleeves and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, what the fuck did he stumble on? Like that is interesting to me.
There's two varieties I really like. One of them is like guys like Erwin Saunders. And I got his
just sent me the link. I'm taking a look.
Yeah, it's in the private channel. I think his shit's all CGI.
I've seen this guy. This guy's so full of shit.
But it's still fun because him and his buddy are walking around in a portable shower in the woods trying to film little monsters. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's such shit, dude. Like it is. Come on.
It is. But then you have guys like the Facts How to Hunt or something in Canada. And that guy, he comes off like a Canadian veteran. Like he might have been in the sandbox for a little bit. But he does a lot of good. He does a lot of good for the cryptid community because he shows a lot of things out there that you want to be aware of. And then he tells you areas that you just stay clear of because there's definitely something there in the woods and it will eat you or it will make you disappear.
Yeah.
And I tend to believe that more than anything else because we have the 411 guy.
Yeah, be careful with him.
I haven't found any negativity on the 411 guy yet.
Oh, there's tons. You just got to go look for it, but you can find it. He
really?
Cherry picks his facts. He leaves out a lot of details. Like I was really into David Paulides, like really, really, really into David Paulides. And then I started, like I do my research, right? Because my grandfather always taught me. He said, people are going to give you an argument. Go and find the counter argument, read both, and see where you find the truth. I was like, okay. So that's what I do. That's why I don't believe in ghosts. And David Paulides, I was really into David Paulides. So I started doing research and I started getting these people who were saying, yeah, well, no. And they started like giving more of the facts that he leaves out that are available on the public record or in the police records and things like that. And it's like, okay, some of his stuff is a little sensationalized to sell books at the end of the day, And he's kind of exaggerated his own police career a little bit too. So you always got to watch out for that. As soon as I start hearing people that have like lied about their past, like what's his name? Phil Schneider. I don't know if you know much about UFOs, but Phil Schneider.
Phil Schneider.
Wish
we had the facts.
He is so full of shit. He stole so many of his ideas from different people and then presented them as his own. Nothing he ever said was verifiable. And then well, he died. He was strangled, and also there's a thing called autoerotic self-asphyxiation that's killed some famous people, including the singer of NXS and David Carradine. You know what I mean? Like there's reasoning beyond, the government took him out. So for me, I want to always try and have an open mind, but a critical mind at the same time, right? So I don't know if Baron was there the first night I did the ghost videos. Were you there the first ghost videos I did on the new channel? We're watching the videos and they're all shit. And we're just laughing. And then there's this one from Australia where the guy goes, he's in a church and he's filming and then he sees something on the second floor. And it's a fucking dude in a sheet walking along the balcony. And I just broke. And the guy in the video, was it? You can see he's a little bit transparent. And it's like, okay, do I have to explain digital artifacting and how digital zooms work now? It's like, it's so annoying, right? It's just tiresome. And that's the problem. People who fake shit or lie about shit make it harder for us to ever believe when the truth comes out. I mean, some of it's psyop and some of it's just attention whores. And then some of it's just shysters trying to make money. You know what I mean? And I remember once upon a time before David Icke and I think it's Alex Jones actually became friends, Alex Jones referred to David Icke as the turd in the punch bowl. He said, you're trying to have this rational conversation about these things. And then he comes along and goes, shape-shifting lizard people. Because that just breaks the conversation. Because then people go, what? No, fuck, I'm out. Thing is that I like David Icke. I like a lot of what he has to say. I find him very fascinating. I don't know if I believe it all, but I find it fascinating. And I absolutely love Alex Jones because other than Sandy Hook, he's been right more than he's been wrong at the end of the day. And someone was telling me last night, in Texas, there's an expression which is Alex Jones was right. And like Texans just know this apparently. And it's like they kind of go like, yeah, he's an idiot, but he's not lying. And that's what I find interesting. So you got to be careful who you're believing, who the sources are, and all that kind of stuff, because we want to believe. We want to believe this stuff is true, clearly, but we got to be careful of where our sources are coming from because there's a lot of fucking noise to signal ratio out there, Sorry.
You're good. You're completely good. I'll share something here real quick.
Absolutely, man.
Years ago, I was in the oil field. And we were staying out of Leesville, Louisiana. This idea where this is. Shreveport's up here, Leesville's down here. And we were fracking all along this corridor, 49 to there. I want to say, I don't think this was it. I want to say we were closer to like Mansfield area. Because I remember we stayed at the Grand Bayou for a couple jobs, but we were somewhere in this area. And what had happened was I was part of a 12 to 13 man crew, depending on what alternate shift was with us, because we had 3 shifts with like 12 guys each. And I was one of the few guys in our crew that had a hazmat.
Okay.
Hazmat's what allows you to drive on the road with explosives or flammable gases or caustic things that in case of an accident, you know who to fucking call with a calm mind and demeanor and say, we've got a problem at this location, send cleanup right away. I'm doing what I can to secure the site for safe arrival of EMS. That's what hazmat's supposed to do. In the oil field, you are golden. If you can retain your hazmat without injury, without problem, if your company lets you sleep and you get to repair yourself, it's great. It's good money. Well, I think we're right over here. And we're fracking around, and all of a sudden,
fracking around
on a job site, we're cleaning up, we're done with the job site. We've broken most of the things down, and I have to go fetch a truck to take it down the road. So I want to say we were right pretty much. Do I have satellite view over here? Where's satellite view? Show imagery.
Click layers over on the left-hand side. Bottom.
Here we go. Give you guys an idea of what I'm dealing with. This is the type of terrain it is. Here's the type of trees that you see everywhere. This is it's pines and swamp, basically. So we're kind of around. It's no, it wasn't there, but we're moving around this shithole, which it really is, because the roads are shit, and we've got 80,000, 100,000 pound trucks, and I'm about a half mile away from where I need to be at to go get the truck, get it ready to roll, and get it to the job site so we can put things on it, and then I can take it back to the site that we got to go to.
Yeah.
Well, when I walk back towards where we put our trucks, the staging area, it goes from just a happy little bayou swamp bullshit, like hearing the Disney animals run around, to it's absolutely dead quiet. And I don't recognize this initially until my change of song on my phone, and I realize that there's nothing making noise. Usually there's something making noise, nothing.
Sure.
So I speed it up. I get to the job, or I get to the little expanse area, and I get in my truck. And as I'm waiting for the truck to get the airbags inflated, I see things are being thrown at the truck because I've got bits of like pine cone pieces and small sticks and just small, like quarter-pound or less items are falling on the truck. There's no wind. There's nothing causing the trees to move, but something is throwing things at the hood of my truck. And I'm seeing this, and I'm hearing it hit the windshield or it's hitting the hood. And so I roll down the window, and it's still outside. And then I hear a scream, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. And I get the truck moving, and I get it back to where I'm supposed to go, because apparently I interrupted something. And this is in the center of Louisiana, not a very well civilized location, if you can see here. But we get everything loaded up, and I asked my boss, "Did you hear the yell?" He's like, "Was that you?" I said, "No, it just scared the shit out of me." He's like, "Okay, we got scared by it too." I'm like, "Okay." There's like 13 of us now, and I'm back where there's a bunch of people. We load up everything, and my boss sends me back with a truck to go back to the staging area with the stuff we just loaded onto it about an hour later. And I kind of refused until like I had somebody follow me back. The mechanic had to follow me back. And I was not feeling too chipper about that in the least bit. I would not recommend, like, if you want to go adventuring around Louisiana, go on ahead. But I'm just not a very. I hear weird shit in the woods. Like, I'm not African, but I turn into a black guy in a horror movie. I run real fast.
So I grew up in a part of Canada called the Gaspésie, and it's the very end of the Chic-Choc Mountains before they go underwater and then come back, or the Adirondack, the Appalachians. It's the end of that mountain chain before it goes underwater and comes back up in Newfoundland, right?
Sure.
So whenever I hear Appalachians talking about Kentucky goblins and stuff, I'm just like, and I grew up in the other end of that extreme. Like, there's tons of shit out there in the woods, and oh, looks like my Amazon package arrived, and the cats are freaking out because of a doorbell. There's a lot of shit under heaven and earth, is all I'm saying. And I just want good proof. I don't want sensational proof. I just want good proof. You know what I mean? I want something tangible, something believable, and something relatable. But what I don't want is this amazing footage from Bob somewhere in Tulpalupa. He's got a picture of a dog, man. It's like
it's a blob squatch.
Yeah,
it's another fuzzy creature.
Another blob squatch. And I think Mitch Hedberg had it best. He goes, the pictures aren't out of focus, just Bigfoot That's what Bigfoot looks like. He's out of focus. He's a big, and that's a lot more scary. A big blurry monster walking around the woods.
I missed that, man.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg was pretty goddamn funny. But yeah, so for me, it's just I require proof, but I'm not a doubter. And that's why I
Yeah.
get annoyed when I hear, smart, smug people on TV go, well, these people believe in Bigfoot. Yeah, so does Dr. Jane Goodall, world's leading primatologist. Shut up. Well, we would have found it by now. Really? Have you been to the Pacific Northwest? I have. I lived there. That's a rainforest up there. Planes go missing up there when they crash. There's actually a bounty system for pilots to find crashed planes if they can. So if you're telling me a large intelligent hominid that has small enough numbers and is in its home terrain can avoid being seen, gee, that doesn't surprise me at all. Fuck. So tell me, Bear, you have an open mind about things like aliens, Bigfoot, etc. Why are ghosts off the table? Because I have never once in my life seen or heard a convincing ghost story. Ever. And we've been trying to capture ghosts forever on film, video, you name it. And I've never seen one credible piece of information. And every ghost story I've ever heard is someone telling me their friend told them, or I had a feeling, or I knew. And it's like, okay, that's your mind playing tricks on you. Whereas UFOs, there's been tons of good footage, tons of good, samples and things like that. And like I said, I read both sides of the story. And when people debunk ghosts, they use science. When people debunk UFOs, they use woo-woo, like, well, it was swamp gas. It was the planet Venus. Yeah, that trained pilot flew his plane directly at the planet Venus until he ran out of gas and crashed and died. Yeah, I believe that bullshit. You know what I mean?
I believe Mantell saw something. I'm sorry.
He did. And so the point is that's the thing for me, right? Is that there's these things that mean more to me because there's more possibility. Science is a very interesting thing, and the real world itself is full of mystery and wonder. I don't need spirits and souls coming back with unfinished business to believe what I did. I just don't believe in ghosts. I'm sorry. It's a bridge too far for me. I love ghost stories. I love watching ghost videos. And yes, when I go to bed at night, I tuck the blankets under my feet because I don't want to be wrong when the demon comes out from under the bed. But I ain't never seen shit. I ain't never seen shit in my life. I've been in haunted houses. I've been, around dead people. I've been to graveyards. I've done all that stuff. Never once saw a fucking ghost, never seen a video of a ghost that convinced me or I couldn't find a reasonable explanation for, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like my favorite thing are all these South American, Central and South American, like Mexican and South ghost videos. Carlos is living in his house and he's got a ghost. And then they catch that and it's a long-haired girl looking at him from around the door. It's like, he has a ghost. Is that a bruja? No. It's his sister, Maria, wearing a white dress and fucking putting her hair over her face. It's not supernatural, Now, I could be wrong. I fully believe I could be wrong. But when it comes to ghosts, I need a lot better proof than I've seen so far, personally.
There's some ghost video out there that I actually believe that these things, like there's some trail cams, I think capture shit. And
I've seen some cool trail cam shit, dude.
I really think that Dread Captures has some good footage. There's a lot of it that you can easily identify, like that's not what they're saying it is. There's other stuff that you're like, this is not what I thought it was, or that looks really convincing. I'm pretty impressed. Dread Captures, I've got to say more often than not, I'm willing to believe that 10% of what they get is probably what they said it is. The other 90% is it's his sister Veronica in a dress, just like what you're saying. I believe it. I believe 80% of it minimum is misplaced or just outright lied. I think that's what it is. But
they saw a child in the abandoned monastery. Was this a ghost of a child that was abused by the priest? No, it's his son.
Yeah,
running around in the background giggling. That's not a fucking ghost, like that shit drives me nuts. And you ever notice the chairs and the things that move only ever move in one direction? They never go back.
Yeah,
They always
they-
move in a direction where something could be hidden pulling them. You know, like you got to have a critical eye for this stuff. You have to, and a critical mind. But those who want to believe, nothing will ever make them not believe. And those who don't want to believe, there's nothing that will ever make them believe. I live in the middle. I'm like just ridiculously centrist on everything. It's sad. So I did too. It was played by Andre the Giant the first time. Now,
Yeah, I mean,
Giant.
for
Sorry, go ahead, Baron.
yeah, yeah. The you know, there's some of the things there that in that whole other world, I guess is the best way to put it, that do, you know, grab me. I mean, there's a few of the you know, ghost hunter type folks that I watch. You know, I watch Overnight, then and you know, like Twin Paranormal, I'll watch off and on.
Worst. They're so bad.
Eh.
Oh,
But you know, there's just some of them too that is there's another one, what is it, Paranormal Quest. And one of the things that I really like that they do that no one else really does is they set up cameras and they leave for like an hour.
do they though? You don't know. You're taking their word for it. That's what everybody seems to miss, is
all
that
we
you're
have,
taking
though.
their word. If they want to go do this with an independent observation team that is documenting them doing it, I'm down. And I guarantee you 99% of them will say no to that. And that's why James Randi never gave away his $1 million, because no one was ever willing to agree to the observational techniques. People would come to him and say, yeah, I'll take you on for you to prove that I'm psychic. And then he would list out the controls and they'd be like, no, I'm not interested anymore, because he already knew how to expose all their fakery. So he would stop them by saying, you can't, I'm going to prevent you from doing your fakery. None of them, not Uri Geller, none of them were willing to ever take him up on it. It's the same thing with these ghost hunters. You want to be proved to me you're a ghost hunter? Awesome. But we're going to do it the right way. You're going to take your team in and do your ghost hunting video, and my team's going to follow you around and videotape everything you do. They're all going to say no. Sorry, you know, and that's
Now
hard. I want
with
this shit to be real.
Oh yeah, but with that also looking at the other things, you know, like Bigfoot, the cryptids, the you know, aliens. You know, hell, we've all been basically told aliens are real. They've been here.
As soon as
Now,
you know,
David Goresh, you're talking about Goresh or whatever his name is?
I'm talking about the things that the Congress did, U.S. Congress did.
Yeah, the recent thing. That's Goresh or whatever his name is. I honestly believe he's a psyop. I believe he's 100% a psyop. He's giving some real information and a lot of bullshit to muddy the waters. I don't believe it's all 100% legit.
That's like 90% of all 90 to 100% of all UFO stories are made up bullshit with a tiny bit of truth.
A little bit of truth. And like the idea of being a trained observer is debatable, because I'm a trained observer. I had to be trained on observation techniques when I worked in security, and I also developed them as a bouncer. And I make mistakes. I see things the wrong way. You know, I see the wrong color. I remember the wrong vehicle all the time. So we have to be really, really, really careful, and we have to always look at things critically. Now, if you believe in ghosts, I am not denying your experiences, and I will never deny your experiences. If you tell me a ghost story, I will listen, and I will not even try and tell you why. You know, well, it could have been this, it could have been that. I'll just be like, cool. And I'll get the chills, and my hair will stand up on my arms, and I'll be right in there with you. I personally don't believe in ghosts, but I'm not here to deny anyone else's experiences. That's the point. I'm not here to debunk you. I'm not here to make you look stupid. You got a story to tell me? Awesome. I love stories. They're great. I love collecting these tales, and they're fun. They're cool, and everyone likes to be scared.
No, I don't like to be scared.
Okay, well, most people like to be scared.
I'm not into that.
if you are profiting off of your stories and you're lulling gullible people into giving you money,
You're a
I'm gonna
dirtbag.
have a problem with that. I'm gonna have a big problem with that.
Yeah, it's like the daughter of the guy who was on Ghost Hunters. Her and her husband or boyfriend or whatever it is, where they hold hands and they hear and knocks happen. And they can do
Are you,
go
are
through
you talking
the
about
alphabet.
Zach Bagans bullshit?
No, not Zach.
Okay.
The one that was on Sci-Fi Ghost Hunters.
Don't know it.
Damn it.
Canadian. We don't have sci-fi.
Oh, what's his name?
Does Canada?
I'm gonna grab my
Jason-
pack before some Christmas pork
Jason-
fries.
Oh, what is
I'll
it?
be right back.
Jason.
I'll be right.
Okay.
You'll be right back. We got that.
God damn it. Jason Hawes.
Okay.
That was his name. His daughter is now, working at the Annabelle house and everything else, and her and her boyfriend are there and whatnot, and supposedly they can hold hands and and they hear knocks, and then they can go through the alphabet and get the messages and everything else. And yeah, it's weird how where the original Warrens, where the original Conjuring took place.
I believe that
The Conjuring house.
I believe that was real because for some odd reason, that just comes off to me as like, holy shit, this is going to get bad real fast. Hey, Garrett, do you have this? Do you have this?
Probably not.
Okay.
You're gonna make me
Was
look.
ist los? Was ist Dwarf Fortress?
That'll
No,
be
I don't have it.
That'll be the first game I do a let's play on for 2024.
Wow. See,
I wanna see something cool.
what I've been playing is this bad boy right here, this Minecraft mod that a buddy of mine put together for us and everything. So yeah,
10,000 subscriber guy.
it's based around the Create. I haven't done any videos on it at all.
I'm surprised.
It's so saturated, and even to get seen is, it's not even. I hate to say it, it's not really worth trying to fire stuff into for it, just because the whole Minecraft community is so saturated on YouTube.
You want to see something cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many D12s do I have now, motherfuckers?
Oh boy.
How many D12s do I have now? I have all the D12s. I've got these D12s. And I have these D12s. And a whole bunch more. Oh, and a cool little dice bag to put them in.
Yeah, I started playing the ASCII version of Dwarf Fortress, and I'm like, this is fun, but if I can throw money at the creators, that's got to happen.
I don't play video games, so I always feel disconnected.
That's a lie.
What?
You play video games. You play City of Heroes.
Yeah, once.
That's a video game.
And when was the last time you saw me play it?
I don't know what you do when you're not
Like a
online.
month ago,
Old
dude.
school and 7 years ago.
I play video games for like 5 minutes and then I get bored. Unless it's Mario Kart, then I will play that until the time of all creation's end.
I would pay a $20 super chat to Max Boyven if he drank whiskey and played Mario Kart. That would be a quality stream. To hear him.
Well, you're halfway there. He usually drinks whiskey.
I didn't realize he was a whiskey drinker, but I want to. I want to hear him scream about somebody giving him the red mushroom or the red turtle shell. Valhalla tries to say most Vikings were black and transgender.
Be right back, guys.
No worries.
Okay.
So many D12s. Oh.
I'm happy that you got your D12 collection started. What are you going to do with your D12s now that you have them?
Well, I've been rewriting Bastard Sword as a 2D12 roll under system. Like the Modiphius idea where you get successes when you add up your attribute and your skill to create a target number, and then you roll your 2d12, and whatever die comes up under that number, you get one success. And then we have a thing called edges. Edges go from 1 to 3, and if the edge is appropriate for the task you're doing and it comes up equal to or less than the edge, it's 2 successes. Yay!
Nice.
Yeah. And if you roll double ones, it's 4 successes because it's a critical crazy thing. And then I have a whole degree of success. You can spend your successes to buy effects and stuff. It's really cool. I got to write it this week. I got
to spend some time finishing up the clerics, their spells, domains, and then I'll get started on the wizards, and then the equipment, and then I'll be very happy because the equipment's where the speed factors are going to be displayed, and my players will stop asking me questions. No, that ain't going to happen.
Back onto the supernatural stuff. There is something I won't get involved in, and it's all this Wiccan woo-woo crystals and Akashic record, and that's Theosophy, and I think Theosophy is absolute horse shit. Madame Blavatsky and all of that fun group. So I won't get involved with it, and I won't talk or get on channels with it because I don't want to offend anybody, because they're into it, and God bless you, be into it. But for me, it's just too fucking woo-woo, Oh, the D12s. Now, while we're talking, I'm going to go pluck all the D12s out of the jar of misfit dice and put them in the same dice bag, the bag of 12.
I thought you... I was hoping you were joking about the whole D12 thing. I was like, wait, it's a D6 system.
No, it was a 2D10 system before.
Oh.
It's 2D12. Because I got inspired by Modiphius, and I liked aspects of their engine, so I'm going to... Bastard Sword's always been a Franken game. Well, it's going to continue to be a Franken game.
I was sent this nice card from our friend in the chat, Mr. Mac Thompson. Mr. Mac Thompson, thank you. It's very festive, but I fear that we are losing the sight of the true meaning of Christmas.
The true meaning of Christmas. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
You don't sub to the Luciferian Daily, Bear? No, I don't sub to the Luciferian Daily, but I also offend Catholics because I told them their church was created by Satan and they get mad at me. I like how that just killed the conversation. That was good.
I'm remembering
a.
What could Triple B say? What could Triple B say that would get us rolling again? Because there's a discussion waiting to happen, and I don't want to talk about the Luciferian Daily. I don't want to talk about the Luciferian Daily.
I don't even know what the Luciferian Daily is, but I'm assuming it's woo woo.
I'm pretty certain it's woo woo shit. And I don't get into it.
There is a little cat sitting here beside me watching me put dice down that is absolutely captivated right now.
Now the cat's waiting for you to pull the dice out and just set the dice up on the shelf so the cat can come up and just knock it off and look at you the whole time. And then he expects you to set the dice up on the shelf again so the cat can walk along and knock each dice off.
Cats are assholes.
Yes.
It's a Blavatsky rag. Fair enough. I put Blavatsky in the same place I put Ayn Rand. So, make of that what you will.
Oh, Bruce has started a new one.
What's this? What are you painting, Bruce?
Oh no, I was I've got about 60 of these Mordor orcs that I've got to paint up before we
What are
start.
you doing, cat? What are you licking? Oh, my lunch plate. Have fun. Enjoy that. If it makes you happy, buddy.
Bear, I don't think you realize how many miniatures he has.
Oh, I can
sitting
see
around him.
the edge of the iceberg.
Oh, no. Bruce, show him the full spectrum of the dice,
Just the work desk.
or the miniatures, I should say, not the dice.
The work desk is. Let me get my hands free.
Okay. Yeah, I get it, man. I trust me, I get it.
This is just the work desk that's in perpetual motion. There's Warhammer figures back there on sprues. Over
Wait,
there in that box, there's more minis. We're waiting. I'm waiting for the day when things shut down or like, well, you guys get to stay home for 3 weeks while we figure out how to run the planet again. I'm like, yay! Well, I got another 3 weeks of just painting miniatures and eating spam because I buy spam in bulk.
Spam is delicious.
Don't ever insult spam. I love spam.
I specifically enjoy when you first open up the can and then you just cut a slice off and eat that right away before it's congealed in the fridge. Oh my god, fresh spam out of the can, so good.
I've never. First off, sir, spam does not go in the fridge. Spam goes from the can to the prep to the stomach, and that's it.
Yeah, I have a small stomach after my gastric bypass. I can't eat a whole can of spam in one sitting, sir.
Oh wow, I didn't realize you had a GI.
Show us the kitties. Beans, you've been requested. This is Beans. Beans is the mascot of my channel. And normally Beans is a very loving boy, but lately Beans has become a bit of an asshole teenager.
He's becoming a celebrity.
What's wrong, Beans? You getting a big head? You getting a big head, my boy? Big head chat. I hear that exasperated exhale. Why you do this to me, Daddy? Why? Why? You know I love you, you stupid little shit. And Misty just ran away.
Oh shit, Daddy's grabbing.
Yeah,
Nope.
Misty's like, nope, it's grabbing time. I'm out.
I'm out. I'm a big fan of the.
And this is Misty, his brother. And Misty is a chunkosaur. Big old boy.
Jeez.
Pretty boy. He's a big
Bear,
old boy.
you have a lot of black t-shirts. We can never see the cats.
You can
in
see
their
those
eyes.
eyes. You can see those eyes.
We see the eyes.
That's all you need to know. What comes for you in the night to eat your face.
Bear,
Well, he did wear a red shirt the other day, so
Yes, I did. Just to prove I'm not gone.
where did you get the Dungeons and Dragons shirt with that font?
I made this one.
Okay.
I saw this on their line of clothing that came out, and sadly, I really liked this design, and it was only available for women. So I'm like, well, fuck that. Where's my Photoshop? I'll make my own.
Nice. Yeah, I think later on over the weekend, I'm going to try to get a hold of a copy of Adventures in Balloon Land or the Santa Claus movie from Riff Tracks. I've got to have a new Riff Tracks movie to watch. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, always. There's tons of them.
well, although I will say, and Bear, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Have you seen the Rift Tracks version of the Star Wars Holiday Special?
Of course.
Okay.
Come on.
He's one of the cool kids. Come on.
Meet Walla. Meet Mala from Walla Walla. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's just the best ever.
How many drugs was Carrie on when she was trying to sing?
Holy fuck.
I love
Dude.
this.
Did you ever see her coke nail in Empire Strikes Back?
Yes. Yes. I just now noticed that because I've got a TV that actually has a resolution I can see that on.
She got a hell of a coke nail.
And Harrison Ford was bumping uglies with her at Lucky SOB.
Really? You think it was no. There is nothing in Carrie Fisher's presentation in her life. I love her. She's fantastic. But there is nothing that doesn't tell me she would have been a psycho fucking girlfriend.
I love to stick my dick in crazy.
Everyone likes to stick their dick in crazy. It's the after the dick sticking's over you got to worry about.
Obviously, if it would have been that super crazy, we would have heard about it because everybody would love to hear the dirt on Carrie Fisher. That's Debbie Reynolds' daughter.
No.
And I'm
everyone
surprised
loves
that
Carrie.
if she was so crazy, Harrison Ford didn't make a fucking mint off of like, here's the sexual escapades I had with Princess Leia before she died.
Did you ever hear the Mamas and the Papas story about Harrison Ford in Star Wars?
No.
So I think it's Mama Cass, or no, not Mama Cass. The other one was on. I think it was Johnny Carson. It could have been Letterman. I don't know. And they have you seen that Star Wars movie? She goes, yeah. So I went to see this movie and I sat down. I really wasn't understanding what was going on. And then this Han Solo guy showed up and I'm like, hey, shit, that's my pot dealer. So she totally outed Harrison Ford as dealing weed in LA in the 70s.
Wow.
You know?
That's great because at the time he was working as a construction guy on fucking
Carpenter.
sets.
It was a
He was
carpenter.
a carpenter, yeah. And that's fantastic. I did not realize that.
Yeah. Too funny, man. No one would do a sell-all book on Carrie. People loved her. They would never like her. Hamill, Lucas, none of them would ever do anything like that because she really was family to them, you know. So I can't see them ever trying to make a profit off her ass. Plus, Harrison Ford doesn't need money. You ever see the riff tracks of Firewall?
No.
Oh my God, there's a bit where has you ever seen Firewall? Harrison Ford Firewall?
No.
There's this whole sequence where he has a microphone on him and the terrorists are talking to him. So he has to talk sotto voce into the microphone as he's walking around. And Mike Nelson just goes, a part where he gets to wander around mumbling to himself. This is like Harrison Ford's dream role. What are you going to do?
I've seen him on talk shows and he does not impress me.
Harrison Ford?
Yeah. Like he seems
Good
kind
actor.
of boring until he gets alcohol. He's boring as shit.
Yeah, he's a good actor, though.
He is a great actor. I don't think I don't think he has a lot of stories. Hey,
Cody in the chat.
Mr.
Cody. Give Cody the link. Get Cody in here, man.
Okay.
Cody's awesome.
I don't.
I'll give it to him. I got him. If
Yeah,
give me
okay.
the approval.
Information bearer. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
please.
Cody is awesome. Cody's good people, man.
I like
Why
Gene Gold.
how Cody's channel doesn't have 1,000 subscribers is a fucking crime.
Exactly.
I don't know how me and Baron got wired into getting 1,000, but we hit a vein at the same time that James hit a vein and everybody else hit a vein.
I got a huge bump from Mr. Welch and Tex from Black Pants Legion. They really bumped me. That really helped me a lot.
Black Pants Legion.
Tex, the BattleTech channel. You don't know Black Pants Legion?
No.
Oh, you like BattleTech?
Occasionally.
Yeah,
What
if you don't like
they keep
BattleTech, maybe you won't know it, but you should check out his channel. Now, I have a decent voice. Cody has an amazing voice. Tex makes both of us sounds like little girls on helium. Like, he has like,
Oh my God.
He's got a voice that's like, down here, and he's got a lot of charisma in it. It's like, it's crazy how good his voice is.
God, I would love that.
Drives me nuts. YouTube unsubs you. That sucks.
They do that.
Yeah, my sub count goes up and down in weird ways too. So strange.
Go subscribe to GM Cody.
And then I have my hater who downvotes all my videos. This just like one or two people just downvote all my videos. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Cody, I sent you the link, man, for the StreamYard. I don't know if Raven's using the computer.
We're waiting. We're waiting.
I'm going to
for
start a
you to pop up in here.
GoFundMe just to get you a second computer, man.
Well, maybe after Heroic, we'll see what we can do.
I'm not going to buy no computers from with my Heroic. That's my art money. Cody, you suck, but okay. Totally understandable, dude. But yeah, you should have Cody on sometime, man. You guys should arrange that for one of your live streams. Cody's an awesome guy to
I
talk to.
think he's a San Antonio native. Or he.
Cody? No, Cody's in Tennessee.
Okay. Which one's the
No, that's Dale.
Dale.
Okay.
Dale.
Mike,
Dale of the
I'm sorry,
witticisms. Dale of the witticisms.
Dale's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. When in chat. Live, he just sits there. That's Dale in a live stream. Dale in chat. Zing, 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 zing. Nerd's pretty awesome, too.
No. That's not her name.
No, that's right. Sorry. Pardon me. I apologize. Nighthawk's pretty awesome, too.
Well, and speaking of which, that should be a stretch goal where one of the lower ones where you actually make a Nighthawk character.
I would love to make a Nighthawk character, except Marvel would sue the living shit out of me because they have a Nighthawk. And Nighthawk is not a generic term, sadly. Night Owl is, though, and I have a Night Owl in the Zenith universe.
Well, okay. And speaking of Heroic, what are some of the characters that you would like to actually take time and develop more? Is there any specific characters?
What do you mean take time and develop more, son?
Well, as in for
I just need art.
as in for developing more of a story and things along those lines.
Again, all done. Like it's all there. I just got to get an artist, right? But here, I'll show you something fun. Hang on. I'll show you something fun. This is from my Patreon. I'm just trying to find the.
Ooh. Chimerian, link is in the Table Breakers chat, buddy.
Yes. I would love you and Bear to get together. This is like a dream. This is a dream thing for us.
Here you go. Look, let's just start bouncing through. You're going to see two of each because one's high res, one's low res, right? So Black Star, Colt, Damselfly, Dr. Diablo, Grenadier, Interceptor, Mariner, Night Viper, Ogre, TikTok, Titan. That's just some of the characters I had up on my Patreon. I have a lot more. Like I said, I have over 400 fucking characters in the Zenith universe, heroes and villains. And it's just getting the right art and the right artist for them. And I've got tons of characters. I've got 2 comics out. I've got a script for a full comic called The Guardians I want to get done. I'm just waiting to find the right artist or for Oliver to become available. And it's just one of those things where I want to. Well, here, okay, sorry, I found more. Hang on, let me present more because I just clicked through them real fast, right? Because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to shill my shit, so I just show off people's art instead. It's way better than any of my stupid stuff. Here we go. Animax, who's a animal shape shifting villain. Champion, who's like a kind of a Superman analog. Crimson Corsair, Dragonfly, Galaxia, Invictus, Killer Wasp, Lady America, Night Viper again. I actually like this art a lot. I really like that art. Skull Smasher, who is my all-time favorite villain I created. Starbird again. The Mighty Turtle. Everybody loves the Mighty Turtle. The Mighty Turtle is an amazing character. And the star of my Guardians comic, if I ever get the right artist. And there you go. That's a bunch of them there that I got. I got tons of this shit. Tons tons. I just need a good artist to do the book. And that's why I say Oliver, because Oliver is one of these people that I can work with without fail, because he is able to see what I have in my head, and he does not, he just draws it and brings it to life. This isn't all his art. So we got Black Shroud, Colt again, Jackie Frost, Cracker Jackie, Nightmare, Professor Plastic, Slipstream, Sunray, the Osprey, and again Titan. Look at that. So like I've got all these fucking characters. I've written scripts. I've got comics ready to go. I published 2 comics, Heroic on Drive-Thru. You can find them there. I got fucking Heroic coming in February, as long as I get my 200 backers and Backer Kit turns us on, and everything's good to go. And I will dive you into my world of comics, which I call 1980X. And I had that term before that stupid video game came out that people seem to like for a month. And the whole point of 1980X is this: I love the Bronze Age of comics. Roughly 1970 to 1985 is the greatest period of comics in history. It's so good. Then Crisis on Infinite Earths comes along, which I love, but undoes everything, and Marvel Secret Wars, and they change everything. And then suddenly we get into the Frank Miller and Alan Moore disassembling of heroes in the deconstruction era, and I don't like that. So I want to go back to the Bronze Age, where yes, there were adult stories being told, but there were still code names and costumes, and we didn't laugh at the heroes or have to make them all psychologically damaged. We could just enjoy them as mythological characters. And that's what everything's about in my game, in my comics, in my universe. Thank you for attending.
Meet our good friend Chimerian.
Hi, Kai.
Hi.
I feel like I've seen you somewhere before, other than on here. Were you ever on any other channels?
I do not exist anywhere else but here.
Okay, fair enough. Well, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Everyone talks nice things about you. So,
oh, they're wrong. They're so wrong.
Hey, I'm too busy to watch anybody else's stream, so all I get to hear is secondhand comments from Bruce and from Baron. Beyond that,
Kai.
I know nothing.
Kai, this is the gentleman who wrote the Bastard Sword.
Oh, nice.
Oh, is writing. Is currently rewriting and wrote. Wow, how do you know Bastard Sword? Have you been sharing that with people, G-Rock? Do I have to put you in a sleeper hold?
Yes.
Okay.
You pay. Baron G-Rock has his Patreon open right now. If you give him $25, he will give you a copy of the unfinished version of Bastard Sword.
If you want a super chat for $25, I'll put G-Rock in a sleeper hold.
Awesome, Flady. Awesome.
Not like I haven't fallen asleep on this before. I mean,
What's Tigers of Terror?
It's an old Antarctic Press comic book series. Started in the 80s, ran through the 90s. It was pretty much just Ted Nomura's way of going. I want to tell a interestingly odd sci-fi and alternate history thing. In essence, a way to put people into terrible situations and draw really, really pretty spaceships and aircraft. It's a great comic. The timeline is very hard to follow at times because he jumps around through the various eras, because it starts with Tigers of Terror starts in the future, but it's not our future, so it's got cool things. And then he goes back in time and tells you the alternate events that happened in wars that created the situation that is where you're at in the present, in the future, aka the original comic books, and then it rewinds times through the Family of Altered Wars, which is pretty much the alternate versions of like Vietnam, Korea, and a bunch of other things, and then it goes back into Luftwaffe 1946, which also gives you, which is part of Family of Altered Wars, which just tells you how the Allies didn't win in 45, but they won in 48. But weird shit happens, and it's a really complex, convoluted, weird, reverse chronological storyline that it's a really fun story.
Cool. Very cool. Bruce, I just threw you a link in the private chat. This is a link to the, I think it's 7-page or maybe 8-page preview of Heroic #1. If anyone wants to go grab it and give it a read, go right ahead. It's a PDF. Enjoy, and then you can go find the comics, the first 2 issues, which that repeats in on Drive-Thru Comics. Zenith Comics presents Heroic, the first issue, and number 2. They're pay what you want. You want to give me $1? Give me $1. You want to give me 0 cents? Give me 0 cents. You want to give me $1 million? I'll take it. But you know,
I like the color schemes and the art's nice and clean.
this is the art, and this is all Alex Williamson because it's the first 7 pages. He was the first artist I was working with, and then sadly he fell out of the project. But it's really nice. You want to see my favorite cover though? My favorite cover is Oliver Castaneda's cover that he did for us for this, which is a very different cover. Give me a second, please. I apologize for being a silly boy who doesn't have things ready, but I wasn't expecting to shill any of my shit tonight because I don't shill. And here I am shilling, saying I don't shill. So that shows you what a hypocrite I am. But there you go. Give me a second.
Garrett would shill it for you if you weren't shilling it yourself.
Yeah.
I've already done that.
Okay.
That's how we kind of started down. That's kind of how we started down the road.
That's what started all this bullshit. Here you go. This is the cover by Oliver Castaneda for Heroic number 1. It's fucking beautiful. And I even have posters of it. It's a beautiful cover. Absolutely insanely good artist. And I'm so happy he's going to be working with me again later in the year.
Nice.
Yeah. 10 years later, 2014, we did that, man. 10 years later, we're going to get back together, like getting the band back together for its greatest hits.
Guys, there's the link. 7 pages of fun comic.
Sadly, this Heroic was not my favorite writing I've done because I let too many voices get inside my head, which is why I want to do the Guardians, because the Guardians is my voice, and it's my, I don't listen to anyone. I do my own shit, and I write my own story, and anyone who has a problem with that can piss up a rope because I listen to way too many voices, and as a result, I compromised the Heroic comics as they came out, and that was a shame because they were so much better than what they turned out to be.
I'll be right back.
And I want to show you guys that, but give me a second. I got to find where my hard drive's a bit of a mess because I had a massive data loss, so I just kind of imported everything from restored hard drives, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, that turned into a shit show. So everything's kind of just chaos.
He's working on because since you weren't here, he's also working on like what that comic is. He's working on an actual game based off of the Marvel superheroes.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I hope so. So here, I don't know, can you present or do I have to wait for Bruce to come back?
Yeah, I can.
You can?
Yep.
This is my cover for the Guardians number 1. The script is written. This is all Oliver Castaneda's art. He did a cover for me because it was thing. And this is a total tribute to Avengers Annual number 10. You know, what shocking secret awaits Gyro? Who will be the new heroes for 1980X? The Mighty Turtle, friend or foe? Answers to all these questions and a special guest appearance by Team Justice await you inside. And, you know, it's written. I'm just waiting for the artist to come along. And if I can get Oliver to do the interiors, I'm going to be a much happier person at the end of the day. But it's all there. Just waiting to get it out, man. Just waiting to get it out. Always comes down to art.
Kai, I think I got something that you might be excited about, at least on my side. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but
I love that game.
Yay!
What's the game about?
I can't wait to have my characters die off in mass and I can actually see it happen because watching ASCII happen is not fun.
What is Dwarf Fortress?
Dwarf Fortress is a dwarf colony simulation game in which upon you will never there is no victory, there's only failure, mountains of failure. And and it fails a new way because each time you load up a new game of Dwarf Fortress, the world is generated it's procedural generated way before it becomes popular, and it generates not just the world but the history of the world. And if you actually watch when it's generating the world, it will actually like list you the history of the world, and you can actually read it being written. And depending on what era and age, you can run into mystical beasts, so you can actually like play like first age, second age, third age. So you get I run into that almost Tolkien-esque age thing where if you play at a later age, the world's older. There's not like more ruins. Things are a little like you're almost like the last dwarves running around, but you won't run into very many horrible beasts in the deep. But if you play in the first stage, you have a more chance of running into something that will just devour the entire your entire dwarf fortress in a heartbeat. But the thing is that you'll almost never get to see that point because trying to get a stable, functioning fortress is almost impossible because your people will just go insane or die or poison themselves or accidentally open a volcanic fissure and suddenly everyone's on fire. Cats will start breeding, and now you have nowhere to live. You have too many cats.
Explain the cats. Hold on. You have to explain the cats.
Okay. Your dwarves may fall in love with cats. They will bring cats home. Now they're a breeding pair. But now your dwarves are happy because cats are good. They love cats. And now the cats aren't breeding. Now you have more cats and more cats and more cats. And soon your entire dwarf fortress is now filled with cats because your dwarves can't kill the cats because they love the cats. And now there's nowhere to sleep, nowhere to move, too many cats. Everyone dies.
So you literally were talking about cats, and my cat came over.
Oh, they passed cats? Thank God.
What's up, buddy? You're on to the cats, huh?
But the thing is, there's so many ways to die and so many ways to succeed. And the thing is, you're not playing this game because you want to create a thriving, wonderful, maybe you are, congratulations, but you're trying to see, you're just enjoying this horrible situation where you're finding jobs, giving everybody things to do, and then watching somebody just go, I'm off being insane in a corner. Wait, why are you? And then you go check on them, make sure they're okay, and try to make them. Meanwhile, you lock somebody in a corner and go, you're the quartermaster. Your job is sit in this room and never come out. Just sit there and make sure the numbers are all right. And then things go out. You get to enjoy the creativity, the fun. Everyone's happy until they're not. You get to enjoy the game until they all die. And then you start over and do it again. It's just an endless stream of success and failure. It's kind of like, it's just fun. It's a fun, crazy game where you will hate everything because you're a dwarf. And you will love everything because you're a dwarf, except you hate elves because they'll show up. And then the merchant shows up. And other things show up. And then weird stuff. And then you bring alpacas in. Why do you have an alpaca? You have them now. And your dwarf decided that he likes rocks. Now he's like, what? They have personalities. And you get to essentially level your personalities. And you get to develop creative, functioning societies. And the good players can do that. Most of us aren't good players. Most of us play and then have horrifying catastrophes that end up with death. And then you just laugh because, oh, I miss everybody. Yes, and the Ancient Beasts is a thing. But it's just the fun part of being able to go, my 12 dwarves are here. We are going to drink beer, dig holes, and build, and eventually have more. And then you'll forget about something important, like building a door.
Why did we build a door? We let all these problems in.
Oh God! Why is there things going wrong? Because no one built a door. Oh no! And you can be as grandiose as you want to be. Some people build like massive, wonderful things inside mountains, going down ant hills and vast caverns, and just it's fun. It's crazy, and it's probably of somebody's life work on display. And we're all better for knowing that no matter what game comes out and comes and gone, we'll all be dead and dust in the ground, and Dwarf Fortress will still be being worked on. And
think of it like a working version, an actual working version of Battle Cruiser 3000 AD.
Ooh.
No idea what that is.
Okay, well, you apparently my geek cred went up a bit just by saying that. My bad.
No, dude, I openly admit I'm not a video game guy. I'm not a miniatures guy. It's not my thing. I get it. People love it, and I love that people love it, and it's great, but not my thing, not my jam.
Okay.
That said, my jam is, strawberry. That's my jam. Sometimes raspberry, depending on my mood. You guys ever have peach jam down in the States? Do you guys get peach jam?
We have a lot of different jams down here. Just all depends on what farmer's market you're closest to.
Fair. Well, this dwarf thing sounds, what's it called? Dwarf Castle?
Dwarf Fortress.
Dwarf Fortress.
There's a free version that's all ASCII characters, kind of hard for me to follow. Then they have the pretty version on Steam. And that was the Let's Plays of it.
But it's crazy.
I'm Tornado.
Nice.
I've been making Dwarf Fortress.
Gentlemen, I must take my leave of you because I have to go make food before I do my ghost reaction video tonight on the Bears Cave. So, and the cats are letting me know that it's time. They're being really attentive to me, which means it's time to feed them. So they can go back to fucking ignoring me again.
You are a 6 foot tall can opener. They know this.
6'3", actually.
Okay. I just make fun of like two tall cats. We are just the tall can opener that walks.
Yes. Dogs have owners, cats have servants. That's just the way it is. Or as the other one goes, the dog says they pet me, they take care of me, they protect me, they must be gods. The cat says they protect me, they pet me, they take care of me, I must be God. And that's what we must live with in our world. These little divine furballs who have no concept of personal space. I mean, who here on the stream has cats?
I've had plenty of them.
Okay.
Not now.
You two up top, are you guys just dog guys? Never had cats?
I can't have cats.
Okay.
I've had outdoor cats, but I'm not a real big fan of them.
Indoor cats, and I'm sure Kai will agree. You never poop alone.
You never do. They
Ever.
love it. They
With
will
the
walk
dogs, the same thing.
Yeah, but you can put the dog out. The dog will stay out. The cat tries to open the door while you're in there.
You watch like this horror movie hand come under the door.
Under the door, tunk, 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 and you're just trying to poop. But now you're just tunk, 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 tunk. Fuck, come in. And you know what's really weird? Trying to poop with an animal crawling all over your arms and wanting to be like, just, what the fuck's going on? I love you so much. And you're like, I'm trying to poop, asshole. And then you do it to them when they're in the litter box. You go over and start petting them, and they're like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you? It's like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Rules for I get it. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I
know way too well.
Anyway,
I had
onto
a
the stage.
15 pound. Go ahead, Kai.
What? No, sorry, you had what?
Kai?
No, you're good. I'm good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go, guys. I gotta make food and I gotta feed the overlords, or they'll make my life hell. Though I finally got my melatonin, so maybe I'll sleep properly tonight. That'll be nice. Bruce, thanks for having me on. G-Rock, always lovely to see you, sir. And I love when you come by my channel and talk shit in the chat. It's always adorable. You ginger.
What time is your stream start?
Tonight, I believe. Let me double check. I believe I'm going live at 7:30 Eastern tonight. Let me double check.
Thank you for the card, Mr. Mac Thompson. Thank you for the cards. Thank you for the rosary. Thank you for the pouch. Awesome stuff, sir. Thank you. And have a great night and Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Mr. Thompson. Nice chatting with you. So Saturday Night Scares goes at 7:30 on Bears Cave. Not Gen X GM, Bears Cave, my other channel, which is just for paranormal reaction videos. So that'll be at 7:30 Eastern. It'll be live. Everyone's welcome to stop on by. And then after, what I do is I throw the StreamYard link in the chat for anybody who wants to come in and discuss things. But the only rule is have something to fucking say. Because, man, there's a lot of squatters in panel. Like, they just show up like, I won't sit here. And get out. Get someone in here who can talk. Anyway, I got to go, guys. Peace, love, geek, and we will see you on the other side.
Later. Thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Yep.
I like having him around. He's fun to talk to.
Yes.
So, Kai, how was your day, sir?
I literally, I got to work. I sit in the car part shop, listen to people who don't have any clue what they're doing, trying to get me to sell them things, and I don't want to sell them things. So it was a very slow, boring day.
Not a bad day.
No,
Not a bad day at all.
7 hours of boring people doing boring things, and going, nope, don't have it. Come back Wednesday. Help me, no. Help me, no. I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I got a question about Thursday.
Oh no.
I would love it if you were on. I know you don't want to be. I get
I'll
it.
be there.
If you want to be there, or if you don't want to be there, I get it. But just if you're not, I'm going to read your comments, or I'll have Garrett do it. One
No,
of those two will happen. So I would.
I'll take ownership of my own statements.
Okay. And Connell's already read it, so I'm pretty certain he's not suffering any excess burn. But I want to make sure that what you're saying. If you're not there, we'll read it respectfully. Pretty scathing, but at the same time, it's going to help out Connell quite a bit because he's a GM that gets paid to run games, and I'm like, dude, you ran this, and I was kind of irritated because this is the second game he's ran where I was expecting a little more thunder, and that was what we got. Your bad version of Faye touched Eastern European world. No, we need something better. Let's fine tune. Let's fine tune you. We can make him better, stronger, faster, more inventive.
Do you want all my answers now, or do you want me to wait till Thursday?
I want to wait till Thursday if I can. That way
Okay.
we all get the chance to shit our pants with the skating, burning.
I wrote all of that so I can get it off my chest, so it won't be a fermented. I won't be fermented and angry on Thursday.
I don't know, but I kind of would like to have seen the fermented version.
No. Do you? Okay, I wrote the first one angry. I wrote the second one slightly less angry. Part 2 was slightly less angry.
I caught that.
And that was after me going back and calm down. It's been 23 and a half hours. I'll watch the last 10 minutes of the stream where I noped out and then go. And then was like, excuse me, let me write this part 2 of the after action report. Okay, I can go to bed now. And I'm sorry.
Six Nations has a good point. Six Nations has a good point here.
Did you pay him? Well,
maybe if y'all tossed in some cash, you wouldn't have died.
man, maybe if no, this don't start. Don't start. I have this ready. I have this fucking ready to go. It's loaded. It's hot. It's hot on the launch rails. I just need to pull. I just need to hit the trigger, and once it goes public, this is a one-shot deal. I'm sorry.
You can only shoot once, folks. Make sure you write that down.
External ordnance can only be fired once. Sorry, there's no internal reloading bonus.
Although I will say Connell was on here earlier and he started off with how Star Trek was commie stuff, and then I immediately removed him. Do you understand how good that felt to have that button to go, click? Oh, look, he went away. It was like old times. I was so happy. I found my happy spot.
I'm glad. I'm glad I
Happy Times was only November 30th.
Say again, Bruce.
To be honest, Happier Times was only November 30th. Okay, it wasn't like
Still,
months and months ago. You boot him out.
I like it.
He's like there's not a digestible, disposable part of America that relates to the fun you can have by booting out Connell in the middle of a stream.
I don't know, but there was the other day with Justin on his stream. He kept saying stuff, and he was like, the Connell treatment. I recognize it.
The funny part is that there was a part where you had taken off, you were in the chat. And Connell starts talking, making stupid ass remarks, and I start booting Connell out, and Connell blamed you for it.
I know. It was great. It was great. Because I told him, I said, I can still boot you out, even from here. And he got all sassy about it, and then he started out, and he goes, what the hell? He didn't remember that I could come in and still be just in the background of it, and not actually in the panel scene, and still have all the control and power I have.
Oh, trust me. Nobody's going to make me come to terms with my childhood emotional trauma, because no GM is that evil. So I welcome the GM who can, but that's opening a can of worms that I would prefer.
I don't, as much as an evil, sick bastard that I am, I don't want to do that to you because I love you too much, Kai.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This won't be, I'm going to turn into an emotional, sad, crying mess. It's going to be...
No. The state of Illinois will turn into a white-hot nuclear fissure of an explosion, and it might crack the surrounding 7 states.
So why is there a tower of corpses in Peoria? I don't know. Coincidence.
Hide behind the pile of dead bards.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Remember those really bad commercials of the 70s?
We've replaced the usual breakfast coffee that Chimerian drinks and given him full flavor Sanka. Let's see how his breakfast goes.
Yeah, that would be like completely wrong of somebody to do.
Man, I would love it if somebody would just take my boring ass breakfast Folgers and make it something good. But I'm on autopilot first thing in the morning. It's just simply walk down, scoop, water, coffee, go.
Yeah, I'm on autopilot too, but the grinder, the grinder is absolutely employed, and once the grinder has been hit, I've engaged the scent is in my nostrils, I am so much better. I'm human.
Yeah.
I can do stuff.
Okay, wait. You're talking a coffee grinder, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you just said grinder, and some people might misconstrue that. And then you talked about scents, and yeah, that would have been bad.
I wouldn't know, because I have two kinds of coffee. The mass-produced, I can buy one giant tub and have it last me an eternity. Trash coffee, and then I have whatever weird farmer's market coffee I'm currently drinking that day for the evenings. I don't mix the two. Some small press. So, does it have a dead pirate skull on it? Yes, I want that coffee. What's it brewed? What was this roasted in? Bourbon barrel. I'm like, that one sounds tasty. Drink it. You can still taste the alcohol in it.
Yeah. We ever get you guys to travel southward, You got to stop off in Joplin, Missouri. In Joplin, Missouri is 22 Sierra, and they have a full flavor. They have a full functioning coffee location over there in Joplin, Missouri.
Oh, you sent me that in the past. I've loved it, and unfortunately, when I run out of coffee, I don't realize I'm out of coffee, so I just go and I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait 3 to 5 days for more coffee. I want coffee now.
I know.
And then you go to Dunkin'.
I'd rather not. Dunkin' Donuts and Dunkin' Donuts Arabica blend and Sanka taste the exact same to me. And up until Lady said that, I wasn't aware that a chick's asshole tasted like full flavored Sanka blend of coffee. But yeah, that's pretty much like Taco Bell night.
No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been drinking my stuff with Swiss Miss ever since October.
Oh God, yes.
Because I usually buy the hot cocoa from Blackout Coffee, but I was over at Costco one day and I saw they had a 70 pouch package of Swiss Miss. Well, let me put that on my pallet to take out to the car. And if you've ever shopped at Costco or Sam's, you know what I'm talking about. Like, well, I'm going to buy in bulk. Let me get your best 2-ply toilet paper you mass produce from the rainforest. And I found an owl feather in the toilet paper, so obviously they did a job really well.
Look, where'd you get my coffee at? My morning coffee at? I want a small tanker truck of coffee grounds, please.
If I win the lottery, how much would I have to pay 22 Sierra to give me a tanker truck with a the tank? I need the tanker truck just parked outside the abode.
The house?
Yeah, the house. Every morning.
Gotta have a house first.
I could see myself literally stumbling out in the morning when you have when you have Elon Musk levels of fuck off money and you've got your mug and you're stumbling out to your tanker truck full of like coffee and you're like and you like hit the little spigot. You have to open like 3 or 4 valves, blow off this valve here, because if you open up the last valve with this valve open over here, you're going to destroy your mug and probably most of your forearm. So open up. Close.
You mean you don't want to drink your coffee from the fire hose?
While in theory, that would be great. If I was Cartoon Fry, yes. I'm not a cartoon.
No, none of us are.
Yeah. The 300th cup of coffee he had, though, he was able to time travel and save everybody.
That was such a beautiful episode.
Oh, probably one of my favorite of that entire show. And I'm not done with it yet. And should Janet be available, Janet can pop in. I don't know if she is or not. Sorry. Could have lost my job when I swapped regular for decaf on my boss years ago. Ooh. Yeah, right now, my job, I'm kind of on thin ice because I talked to my boss when he hasn't had coffee yet. And then, like, he starts coming to after, like, 3 cups. And I look at him, I'm like, I was looking right at you. I explained everything going on with this job. Why did you not write it down as I was saying it? I've got the work order already in through John. John has it set for a date. I'm imparting it to you because you're here in front of me and you want to know what we have planned for the day. Or what did I add to plans yesterday for today? He's like, Bruce, you got to know that I haven't had all my coffee yet. And I'm like, you just drove an hour from Seguin. Why were you not sucking coffee the whole time you're at 10 miles per hour on I-10? But they're only you. What the fuck was your problem? Well, apparently, don't ever say that in the morning. That was a nice discussion. You cussed me? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Always wanted to go to Gen Con with one of those portable coffee tanker backpacks and just caffeinate the whole con. No, I wouldn't caffeinate the whole con. I have my 4 friends. They're allowed to tap it. And I have one friend that's on retainer. Refill me, please. Thank you. They hands it back, sip, drink. It's good. If I ever have enough money where I can have that, I'm going to have the coffee caddy. They might be a minority. They'll probably be a white person from a poorer state, like something like Mississippi or something.
See, I actually was smart when I did go to Gen Con. We both me and my wife took our Camelbacks with us. That way we had water with us all the time. I think I had to fill up, once in the, of course, once in the morning and then once in, toward, mid-afternoon.
I've yet to hear this one, but I like it. I like my coffee, like my women, ground up and in the freezer.
Okay.
I'm worried about Bear. Because what if Bear's working on something and it's taking his attention? It's been 6 hours. He's working on it, and then just the stream stops. The cats unplug the internet, and 4 weeks later, there's a smell from his apartment, and we have to send somebody in because the cats are there eating the corpse. They're like, "We got done. We're done waiting for you." I'm sorry, RPG Grandma. I hope I didn't go dark.
Take care.
Be good. Take care. Don't piss off. Go ahead and piss off the new TSR guys. They're not worth it. But have a great day, hon. God, I do love it whenever Justin Lanasa picks his head up out of a rock. Where are you at, Justin? We need to meet up. Okay. Yeah. This is my problem now. I turned 40 plus and you had 12 cups of coffee? Yeah, you need a bathroom break like every 30 minutes for the next 2 hours.
Yep.
Well, luckily in your line of work, I mean, the bathroom's not that far away.
It's right in front of me. Yeah. I need to use your septic system real quick. What? Can you go in your house and flush your toilet for me? And they run off, and I can let it lay down and pee in peace. But they come back too fast. It's like I was waiting. I sent you inside so you wouldn't have to see this, but okay. I had that happen once. That was kind of awkward.
Just the tip, huh?
Just a tip.
I'm winding down.
So am I. I'm waiting for Thursday with bated breath because it's going to be a fun stream. I know we're going to end up barbecuing Connell. Sorry, dude, but you ran a system that all of us know really well. All of us know how to keep that system fun. You're running for people that want to not run DPS Olympics. You ran a game for DPS Olympics.
I had 8 actions in 2 hours. 8. I counted.
It's like when you go away and you come back and the dogs are like where have you been? You left. You were gone forever. I counted.
Exactly. I haven't thought about this at all, have I? No.
No, not at all. I haven't blown you up to take the majority of the screen either.
What?
That's still part of your mind.
Oh gosh, no. I have no idea what we're talking about here. I'm totally legitimately at peace with what's going on.
If you can withhold it and keep it under wraps till Thursday, that'd be great. if you can't, yeah, you got the con. That's not a problem. Bear is starting his stream at 6:30 p.m. Did he say?
Yes. So probably about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Because he's an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, that he said it was 7:30, so it should be 6:30 p.m. For those that do not have Bear, the Gen X GM, looking for his.
I feel like I
got
missed a stream then. If we were talking about Star Trek and all the other stuff, it's been going on. I got the warning. The warning of, hey, stream started about noon, and I got home late. I'm sorry, I couldn't get off work faster.
You're good. You're
Go
absolutely
check out
good.
Bear. There's his
stream
link.
That's his link right there. Bam. Bam. Not that we're kicking
Go
y'all
on
out.
Becker Kit.
Yeah, don't forget about the back.
Also, don't forget to get his Becker Kit. He's at 167 right now. Make sure you go
200 people.
and sign up. Once again, you're not under obligation to actually jump in on the Kickstarter. This is just so he can get it into the Kickstarter itself. So, help a brother out. He is one of us. He makes games for folks like us, and for him to take I know he hates to use that term, but the phase rip Marvel, the Marvel superheroes game and all that, but for him to basically take that to the next step in that, as he put it in the conversation with it, definitely it should be a fairly decent system. From what I remember, that Marvel system was fairly decent also.
It wasn't bad.
It was a very easy to play system.
Say again, Kai?
I like the idea of what a superhero comic is. The hard part is finding a GM who will actually run it well and make it fun, and then marry that to players who will all be fun. That's hard. That's really hard. I want that one day, but I ain't holding my breath. So, best of luck. I'm hoping for the best. As long as it's the pre Dark Knight era of comics, it might actually be enjoyable. And when I overheard my getting in late, it sounded like that. So yeah.
I just put a link in the chat for those of you that are wanting another live stream to go to. This is for our friend. Hold on, Baron. This is for our friend Ironcaster, the T-shirt historian.
Yes.
So if you want to go to another live stream, this guy here has got a few people in there. Let him know that Bruce and Baron sent you over there. He's on right now. Yeah, that's a sad, sad thing. James Gunn.
All right.
DC's dying, so fuck at this point.
Can't do much about it. We'll be back later on tonight. If Bear's got an open stream link available, we're going to go over there and talk. We'll be able to discuss things. If there's any questions you guys have, go ahead, drop them in comments or throw them in Discord. If I'm not doing anything else after this, then I will probably be watching Riff Tracks on Discord. So if you're bored and want to watch bad movies, just saying. Did I say that aloud?
You did.
Okay. But if you're going to stay on YouTube, T-shirt historians on, got some other friends that are there. Bear will be on here in about 90 minutes to 100 minutes. So you guys should have a good Saturday. I know some of you are kind of upset didn't have a game today. I've been upset I haven't had a game in 2 weeks, 3 weeks with this group of people I've got. And the holidays suck for the fact that, like, trying to get people together because, like, for some odd reason, here's this guy, and we should have the spirit of giving and humility, but instead we slam it all into one fucking 4-week miserable period to the tune of Mariah Carey's shit, and the rest of the year, fuck it. Like, you can be an asshole. Go ahead.
She's the good one. There are so many more that are terrible. So much worse. We just scratched the surface with her. I just got through 3 weeks of listening to the radio play the 24-hour all Christmas music station 24/7, and it's a 2-hour loop. I'm at the point now, if anyone plays that goddamn Band-Aid holiday song, I will kill them. And if anyone plays that John Lennon fucking holiday song that's all sappy and shit, fuck him.
So
He
this is
deserves-
Christmas.
That assassin who killed him in the street is a time-traveling Christmas retail worker who just went back in time and shot him dead for that song. That's it. That's the truth. If I could figure out how to go back in time, I would replace him quantum leap style. They're like, oh no, you quantum leaped into the guy who shot John Lennon. Are you going to save him? No, I'm going to buy a bigger gun and fire twice and make sure he's dead. I mean, that's how bad I hate that song now. And then you add in that weird fucking one where it's like all about Hawaiian music, like how to say Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. That song can go fuck itself too. And the Peanuts theme is not a Christmas song. It is not. Fuck that. God, I hate this music. I hate all this music. So whenever I hear Mariah Carey come on, I can go, oh, this song's actually got some, it's sung by a person who actually knows how to sing. And it's not a recording from the 50s or the Peanuts song. And I always know that, oh, hey, look, you heard Trans-Siberian Orchestra start. We're starting the 2-hour cycle over again. Why? Because the only good song from Christmas is being played. And then I go back to drearily going, 2 more hours of my life are about to go away. 2 more hours of my life are about to go away. Today, my boss and I, since we're the only ones in the store, looked at each other and said, fuck this, and changed the radio station over to, just rock. We just listened to rock music all day, and we were happy. And we had one person who came in and said, why aren't you playing Christmas music? And we just gave him a stare saying, we didn't say it out loud, but the stare just said, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
All right, guys.
I love it. I'm not sorry at all. I feel so happy listening to him discuss that, and just like, that is the that's the feeling of most middle America right now. I'm just gonna say that. I want you guys to have a good, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. I don't want to hear Christmas music for months. And even one of my favorite bands, Liliac, they just released their Carol of the Bells, which is a really good version of it. They actually took the TSO trophy, and they've got it right now. But I don't need to hear another fucking Christmas song, and that's just how I am.
That's
I
true.
wish you all a very Merry Christmas. If we don't see each other until after Christmas, don't know what's going on Monday, so just if you can keep your notifications open or Discord open. If you're bored as hell on Monday evening, there might be something going on. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I will say that Bear is doing a Christmas stream also on Christmas Day, starting at 10 a.m. his time, so it'd be 9 a.m. our time, and going for I don't know how long. So definitely if you enjoyed that, make sure you jump over and see him. I'll probably be dropping in over too. Just at least say hello, maybe even hop on panel. Who knows? And these gentlemen above me, we'll see you on Thursday. Thank you, everybody who stopped in, and we will catch you all next time.
Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Bye, everybody.